The capital is toast, yet our guy is trapped in a brain loop, debating if the history books will label him a ride-or-die knight or just a clown who bet on the losing pony. Plus, the hilarious part is, neither vibe sits right with him. Meet Kane, guard to a king, who went total psycho and signed a contract with the devil. Basically, he worked for the worst boss ever, and he's figuring it'd be way cooler if the world just got temporary amnesia about his existence. But nope, destiny was feeling petty. Smash cut to a dude losing his mind over Kane's corpse, screaming and calling him a moron. That's Heir Reston, rebel chief, and he is super salty. Sobbing, he asks why Kane swapped sides at the buzzer. Dude, you could have just dipped. Why'd you do it? He rattles the dead body. Wake up, you jerk. But the lights are out. Kane has left the chat system offline. Now Kane is strolling a spirit world that looks like melted crayons. He thinks, so this is the endgame. Pure liberty, just hiking inside a glitchy screensaver forever. Lame. At least Halo wept for me. That was sweet. He decides to just chill in the void. Suddenly, a glowing blue ball comes, zooming at his face, and smacks right into his pupil. Next thing, he blinks open his eyes to see an old geezer who looks suspiciously. Halo. But the guy says he's healthy, and names him Kurt. The grandpa asks the dad if he wants to hold the newborn. Everyone's hyping up how quiet and tough the kid is. Meanwhile, Kane's brain is buffering hard, trying to load the situation. Then it clicks. That's Halo, just ancient. Cue the water. Kane wills because he's his bestie's grandkid now, and Halo thinks he spooked a tot. But no, Kane is just having a mental breakdown in a diaper. Skip ahead. History class. Teach is yapping about Sir Kane, who kicked the bucket 45 years ago, calling him a total loyalty icon. Sitting there is 10-year-old Karen, and he is not buying it. Teacher goes, your Grandpa Dukela likely wanted to fix his buddy's rep. Since they were tight, Karen interrupts, wrong. I think Gramps is petty. He made his dead pal a hero just to troll him from beyond the grave. The teacher's face goes completely blank. Karen claims Halo hates that. Kane craved a silent exit. The guy wanted to vanish, not get slapped on a poster. But now, he's getting the propaganda treatment. Hearing this, hot take, the professor starts sweating. A 10-year-old just roasted history class. He stammers, if I agree, the Duke's Knights might literally end me for trash talk. So, I never thought of that. Karen giggles and claims he's joking. Truth is, he's reborn as Karen Restone, Halo's grandson. And he's livid that Halo made him famous, when he just wanted to fade away. Cut to, Dad. Pale is on his knees, praying hard. Seriously? This guy is adorable. Zero magic skills to his name? Sadly. He's stressed, he ruined his son's genes. But Karen grabs him. Best dad ever? Chill. Pale turns to mush, squeezing him and squishing his face. Asks about dinner. Obviously, our guy wants meat. Later, Karen's awake, stressing over the awakening gig. Flashback to Halo, saying, yo, not everyone gets powers. Even if you do, becoming boss isn't promised. Also, there's a top-secret classified family mystery. Tiny Kane played it cool, asking if it was loot or books. Halo teased him. Win the crown, learn the secret. Kane wanted the quiet life, but joke's on him, magic's here. He lights up with a blue glow. Thinking, relax pops, I got this handled. Truth is, he's been powered up for ages. Kept it low-key. Next morning, trip to the city. Kid is hyped for the train. Mom explains Dad basically paid for the whole railway system. She winks, hyping up how awesome Dad is. Karan shook. Even without is actually a legend in his own way. He funded the tech and covers 30% of the Duke's cash. Then he forgets that and geeks out over his first ride. Mid-ride, he sees the rest in the Azure Fortress. Q, the wicked smirk. Thinking of Gramps Halo, who made him famous back in the day. But our guy has a scheme. He's gonna trash Halo's legacy completely. Wreck the rep and be the worst heir ever. Speedrunning the total failure achievement. Can't blame him after being used as a mascot against his will. Fair enough. Just wait, buddy. Your grandson is coming for ya. Station arrival. Old man Henrik does the fancy hello. Too pale. Meanwhile, Kara instantly spots the knights staring him down. They smell his magic. He thinks, these dudes are double quotes, legit. Unlike the noobs back home, Halo will know soon. But whatever, no biggie. At the palace, a lady parks Karen in a waiting room while Dad talks business. Karen scans the place. Whoa, this lobby is huge. Crazy house. Bored already, wishing he picked the library. Suddenly, some brat mocking him. Library first, nerd. Total nerd, exactly like the rumors. Karen spins around like, who's this clown? The kid keeps yapping, since his dad's a magic dud. He's totally hopeless too. Better hit the books to earn cash like a peasant. Just like his pops. Then he starts roasting fresh cut, but messes up big time by asking our guy if he wants to throw hands. This little punk was way too hyped on his own magic juice, claiming he's gonna school our boy today. Karen just gives him the death stare, asking if the main house is raising thugs now. The kid's ego cracks as he feels Karen's vibe shift, and he starts stuttering. Hold up, you got powers? Your dad never spilled the tea. Karen grins. Pops doesn't even know yet. Besides, this house ain't big enough for two bad boys. I'm the main character here, so move. While the kid's buffering, our boy says, done deal. Time for your beat. Cut to the boomer meeting, discussing Karen's awakening. 3 captains already verified it, but Raphael, the second prince, gets all salty and suspicious. Asking what Pale is scheming, Pale's like, bro, I was clueless too. Then the first son, Tails, tells Raphael to quit the tinfoil hat. Drama since Pale never got magic, so Raphael calls him a loser, until some guy busts in yelling for Heinrich to hurry, causing Raphael to storm out behind the butler. While everyone's confused, he finds Leo totally destroyed on the sofa, like he fought 12 rounds with a champ. Seeing his kid folded like laundry, Raphael snaps. He grabs our boy's collar, screaming about manas and what the heck he was thinking. Pale tries to step in, but Karen's chill, explaining Leo dissed his dad and he wasn't gonna let that slide. Raphael calls BS until Pale grabs his shoulder, saying cut it out. Raphael claps back at Pale, claiming it's his bad parenting making Karen act up, until Henrik drops a bomb. The Duke himself will decide. Everyone freezes. Then they march to Halo's office. Raphael is seething, but Halo asks why Karen started a riot the second he got there. Pale tries to talk, but Halo mutes him, I didn't ask you, and says he wants the tea straight from Quran, adding that Pale raised him, right? So there's no way he'd be wiling out without a good reason. Seeing Halo actually letting him explain, our boy's shocked, thinking acting nice is suspicious, old man. He tells him stray Leo trashed his dad. Raphael calls him a liar until Halo slams the desk, yelling at Raphael to zip it. Don't you dare yell. Raphael shrinks back instantly, saying sorry. But Halo says they'll drag Leo in to Then he turns to Quran. That ain't all I wanted to ask. And Karen just drops it. If this is about my magic, I unlocked it 3 years ago. The room goes dead silent, jaws on the floor. Hilo asks why he hid it, calling it crazy for a kid to awaken solo 3 years ago. Karen claims he only realized it was magic after hitting the books later on. Once he knew, he figured staying quiet was the move. Hala asks why, and Karen drops a wild reply. Secrets are just fun. Plus, fooling the local knights made it way more hilarious, proving this kid's been trolling them for 3 years, purely for kicks. The butler carts in a mummy-wrapped Leo. Hilo asks if he dissed his uncle. Leo freezes, but Karen instantly acting, saying that even if his cousin mocked his dad, he shouldn't have smacked him. Leo gets terrified by this guilt, recalls Karen's scary aura, has a meltdown, and squeaks. Yeah, true. So Hala delays their punishment until after tomorrow's ritual and waves them off. When alone, Hala asks Heinrich for his take on Pale's kid. Heinrich's unsure, but intrigued. Hala totally agrees, noting Karen didn't just awaken solo and hide it for years, but he was seemingly roasting the skill of the knights in his dad's turf, hinting Hala neglected them by sending such scrubs. Heinrich thinks he's reaching, but Hala's like, I wish this kid is built different. He's got to see Karen's true deal at the ceremony, since magic alone doesn't explain it. He needs to know if Karen survives the ritual and what loot he grabs. Halo is super curious. Cut to a deep forest altar where the magic happens. It's night, and Karen's marching in with the whole family crew. Karen looks around like, dang, whole squad needed for this. Even the retired grandpas who can still throw hands are here. Tails his girl Leanne, Raphael, and his kid Leah. Everyone's present, making Karen realize this event is actually huge. They hit the altar with a weird stone. Karen's like, so that's the oath stone, huh? Grandma Halo steps up, explaining the stone makes a rift. He's gonna see a custom nightmare zone, unique to him goal, snag a weapon, and wreck the place. Karen nods. Ready? Halo lifts an amulet, like he's summoning the second that amulet hits the oath stone, reality glitches, and space-time rips apart. The pressure's crazy. Everyone braces themselves. Halo asks if Karen's scared, while Palo looks stressed. But Karen shrugs, saying he'll be right back. Breaking stuff is kinda his specialty. As he enters the rift, Halo yells, one last tip. Overcome your fear. Karen steps in, and guess what he sees? Of all the respawn points, he's back as Khan the Emperor's Laptagon, Revolution Day. Karen is instantly salty, thinking, brr, seriously, this is the highlight reel. Stone's trolling him with a guilt trip, replaying his squad, getting wiped. Worst day ever. As he stomps toward the throne room, a creepy voice goes full eco mode, calling him child of the blue wolves, and yapping about ancient family packs. He's like, great a demon, but the voice is chill, nah. Your blood's to Gucci for basic demons to touch. Now boss up and get to the chair. He kicks the doors open, boom. The throne the emperor sold his soul for. Karen freezes. His crew died because of the thing on that seat. Feels like he's stepping over their bodies just to get close. Voice keeps rambling. North Seas, blessed boy is finally here. And welcome home, Blue Clan rep, yada yada. Then he spots it. Ruined his old sword from his sellout days. Shocker, it's cursed. Voice says to juice it with mana. Karan's immediately like, yeah, hard pass. That thing snacks on souls. Voice insists Grandpa already cleaned it. The scary look is just a prank. He's still iffy though, cause touching it triggers memories of being the Emperor's puppet. Then he recalls Grandpa saying, face your fears. Click, Grandpa wasn't just being nice. This isn't a loot drop. It's therapy. Disguised as a quest where he's gotta confront his trauma, he grabs the sword. Fine, let's speedrun this nightmare. Moment he pours mana in, he gets yeeted to the ocean floor. Is this Azure Clarity? Watches the blade glow up from evil junk to holy tear. Karen realizes it's special. It's ancestor rails, OG sword. Grandpa has one too, but it's built different. So op and unique, it got scrubbed from history books. Sword goes feral, pumping crazy power. Into him, he's struggling. Like what the heck? Voice goes, just tank it. Bro, it's carving mana into you. Karan's never felt a buff this huge. He asks, okay, what's its name though? Voice gets hype. It's a demon-slaying, power-eating beast. So scary, demons deleted it from their own brains. Born in the deep north, true name, Guillotine, the executioner. Karen just stares at the blade. The voice vibes with him, calling his future deep-sea dark. Karan's curious. Who dis? Our family's blue dragon mascot. Voice hits him with the "you're too basic to know me" card. Says, get swall, rule the seas, then find me north. Karan's salty, but focuses on the main quest. Escaping. Mystery guy goes, bro, you know the drill. Karen smirks. Smash the chair. He hated that thing anyway. So he, Juice, the guillotine with mana and swings full send. Outside, Stress City. Heir tells Pale to take a chill pill. Pale's like, my bad, watching my kid solo. This is intense. Heir drops some, keep your cool dad wisdom. Pale smiles. But, the oath rock glows and straight up explodes. Heir gasps as reality starts glitching out. The woods go techno mode and the altar collapses. Heir yells, what in the glitch is happening? Chaos everywhere. Yet, Karen strolls out with his new toy. Like he didn't just nuke a dimension. He looks for the rock. But it's dust? Bro release said trial. I'll break it. Everyone is shook, standing there like statue. Pale goes, full panic mode, screaming, bro, what did you do? Why'd you smash the sparkly rock? Karan's freaking too, totally clueless on what he unleashed. Heir stares at the weapon and goes ghost white. He whispers, no way. That's the guillotine. Nobody knows this sword. It was deleted from history. Erased like a cancelled celeb. Just gone. Only the top brass know the real tea on it. Halo wonders why this banned item just spawned here. He pivots to asking if he's scared, muttering about some approaching deal. Karen looks down at the death stick and goes, nah, I'm chilling. Halo's, like bet. Then he spills the lore. Ancestors failed the dragon pact. The stone was just there. We tried participation trophy, dumping their baggage on the grandkids. Classic. Now Karan's, the lucky sucker, stuck finishing the job. Heir throws a hand up, theatrical style. Karan is fam now. Chosen by the big scary sword, he gets the cool moves. Sounds lit, but it's a trap. He's basically drafted into an ancient forever war. Raphael's barely listening. Still salty about his son's haircut. Grumbling that some noob snagged the glory. While Tails is totally zen. Just vibing with the sword's aesthetics. While the squad's yappin'. Pale hugs. Karen like, bro, thought I knew our loot, but this sword, total mystery unlock. Just eyeing it gives him major bad vibes. He admits his kid's grinding a level he couldn't handle. But no time for drama holo. Says the awakening party is officially cooked. And it is time to dip. On the way out, Raphael rages at Tails. Dude, you just get on AFK and let this slide? Tails is like, we need a sidebar. Stat, adding, that even a power-hungry sweat like Raph should sense. The heavy energy, they ask if Tails had intel on the blade. He goes, nah. New to me. Sending Raph into a total mental crash. Why Pale's kid? Like, seriously, why him? Pale plays ref, saying, this ain't the time for a family battle royale. Smash cut to the station next day, where Pale is? Total helicopter dad, asking Karen if he's cool soloing the fortress? Alone. Henry cuts in. Brr. The fortress is basically a safe zone. Pale's like, facts. Safe from outside mobs. Sure, it's the snakes inside he fears, though Gramps keeps M in check. Henry coughs and drops the bomb. Karan's tutor is literally Lady Sabina. Hearing that, Pale's face glows up. Haven't seen Auntie in a hot minute. If she's teaching, he's chill. Karen clocks the name instantly. Halo's SysOP skill level, known as the White Wolf back in the day. Pale says she's always treated him like a king. So no acting up. Karen swears he'll grind hard. Henry adds that Gramps is prepping a pad for Pale in the base 4 visits. Pale starts bawling, shouting thanks to Dad. Henry's like, chill. It's nothing. Pale bounces, telling Karen to DM for backup, and jumps on a train. Karen hikes to the top of the fort. Henry says, move it. Sabina's waiting. Karen goes, bet. Can't go straight, Auntie. Henry breaks hard. Sabina hates the G word. Avoid grandma like malware. Karen says, thanks fam. Thinking, what's the beef with grandma? They breach the fort. And Henry explains, only main characters get this XP zone access. Sabina's inside with Leo, psyching Karen up. Training with Leo? Epic crossover event. Karen says, I'm going in. He dashes off. Henry washes, thinking, it's gonna get chaotic. Karan pauses at the door, sensing boss-level energy. Okay, this is real, right? Then, a voice roasts him. You gonna rot there like a doofus or come in? He enters, does a polite bow, and his jaw hits the floor. She grins, asking if he's shocked. She ain't ancient. She looks way younger than Heir. Seriously, she does not look like a grandma at all. She mentions he's Pale's kid, and sighs that time flies. Karen's brain short-circuits, thinking she must be using magic to stay young. That's an 8-star move, but no way, right? She snaps, asking why he's frozen. They're like, a lawn gnome, and tells him to park it next to Leo. Sabina says she never expected a kid to call her the White Wolf. Karen admits he's a history nerd who read up on her. She smiles, saying he's just as quirky as her bro promised. Then when Karen asks what Gramps said, she replies, Heir claimed he's someone she'd totally vibe with. And now that she's met him, she gets it. Heir told her, is a kid facing a huge ocean, and she gotta help him so he can rule the waves one day? She stands up, shouts it's go Tom, and explains that using Azure mana builds literal oceans inside there. Owned by more oceans you run, the buffer you get. Manage 8 oceans. Boom. You hit the 8-star level, merging 8 oceans into one giant sea. That's the 9th star. Only 3 people on the whole continent reach that, and in the Empire, just 1. Karen guesses it's his grandpa. She nods. Now Karan's fired up to match Halo's level in this life. Sensing his hype, she calls him interesting and fun to train, then decides it's time to roll, and tells him to first let mana flow through the tubes. The ritual open. Remember, don't boss the sea around, just accept it. He feels his mana kick in, saying it feels like crazy waves, and he gotta chill it out. He focuses from his heart, pumping out way more mana than Leo. She peeps this, asking if a total newbie really has this much juice. Even Leo, who's been grinding the domination tech for 2 years, is barely chasing star 2. But Karen is literally carving his mana. Tunnels, solo, and she hasn't even showed him how yet. Karen feels like he's being ripped apart and starts to pause. In flow, she wonders if he feels the strain props to him for pacing himself. She looks over, spotting Leo, shaking like he's on sugar overload. She told him not to force it, and he says sorry. She admits she was so glued to Karen she forgot that. Even if they're awakened, they're just kids. But why's his hair a disaster? Guess she's gotta be the adult so they don't wreck themselves. She thinks to herself that it's crazy he knew when to quit so he wouldn't wreck himself. For a kid craving gains, that self-control proves big bro's sharp. But nah, she doesn't. Think she needs to babysit him? She goes over, I got your back for 3 years, just get buffed. He's like, cool, practical training time. They head to the trainee spot where Fantasy Saitama is grinding. Teach turns. Spots Leo and Karan. Walking in, Leo asks if he's seriously using that sword. Karen's all, duh. Folks say its vibe is too scary, so the sheath stays on. Leo goes, not what I meant. Then Teach welcomes. Karen looks up as the guy intros himself. He's leading sword drills today, commander of Seawolf Knights, named Zir, the Winter Guard. Karen's like, nice to meet ya, I see your 8-star level. Zergos, might sound rude, but I ain't calling you young master or whatever until you earn it. Karen says, don't sweat it, he prefers that. Not used to titles anyway, plus, he knows. The fam tradition, earn Blue Wolf respect via skill. Zir's surprised. Interesting, most kids would. Get mad, Leo included. Leo's like, why the shade? Karen laughs at him. Won't matter, cause they'll all bow to me. Zir thinks, finally, a smart heir. Then he looks at our boy, making a scary face. Zir flips. Wait, maybe he's worse than Scum Leo? The scene cuts to a 3-year jump. Halo's vibing, drinking with sis. She's raving about his insane booze stash. Halo digs. The praise buck goes, true. But stop raiding my supply. Sabina shrugs. Least you can do after I spent 3 years on those brats. Hearing that, Halo gets nostalgic. So, what's your take on the kid now? Sabina drops a bomb. Calls Karen a straight-up monster. Halo's like, excuse me? My grandson? A monster? She doubles down. Calling him a genius is an insult now. Halo looks at Zer. Bruh hell. Zer's like, nah, she's right. Watched him 3 years. I agree with everything. He starts listing Karen's crazy stats. Body, talent, attitude, mindset, then the kicker. Karen's actually better than Hugo. The first heir everyone thought was the GOAT. Halo's brain fries. He's like, wait, on par with Hugo? Mr. Empire's top talent. Zernod's like, yep, that's the T. Sabina flips the switch to serious mode. Going, if we fumble this, the fam is gonna have major drama. Halo's lost. So she breaks it down. They gotta figure out how Karen messing up the throne lineup plays out. Like, when everyone finds out, Karen is totally open, and the uncles see their kids getting wrecked by him. Halo's like, nah, my boys wouldn't hate on their nephew, claiming they're chill, but Sabina isn't buying it. She notes, Halo's bossing it right now. Sure, but when news of the kid's crazy skills hits, it's chaos. Halo admits she's kinda right. Sabina goes emo. Stone's busted. Are we doomed or what? Plus, monster mobs are spamming from the North Sea. Add it up, and we're basically toast. Halo says chill, the Stonebreaker will fix it. OG stop. Sabina's all. Pause. New info alert? Is this top secret head intel? Halo nods, saying the big promise time is dropping soon. Sabina sighs, their cute little guy is about to carry the whole world. When you telling him, she asks, Halos, just, I'll spill when the vibe is right. Cut to Pale, reading an update from our main guy. Typical start, how's sorry, I ghosted, been grinding He tells Pops to wear layers cause winter's here and Dad freezes easy. Then casually drops he maxed 4-star C and sword skills. Says he's with famine watching Leo, but here's the real ask. He's broke, needs that cash refill. Stat, Pale's dying laughing, asking Henry if he recalls the stress of sending Karen away 3 years back. Now, kid's living his best life. Henry says the fort is loud cause of Karen now. Pale's like, I told him to stay low-key. But Henry's all poetic. Can't hide a Then the mood shifts. He warns the secret's leaking. Can't hide his stats forever, probably catching a real quest soon. Pale worries the big brothers will be salty about Karen's hype. But Henry says, and Sabina stants Karen, so they can't touch him. Pale relaxes, goes, Karen writes, she's cool, but glad to know, it's legit. Henry adds Sabina's always had a soft spot for Pale too. Pale jokes are monthly cash drops, definitely help. Then, Pale panics. Heard Sabina's dipping from the fort soon? He tells him to chill, cause Karen's basically besties with the Knights now. Scored a nickname 2 major flex. Pale chuckles. Yeah, I heard. They call him the mad pup of Ador. Savage. Cut to the gym. Corin, literally obliterating a dude's sword. Hans is screaming, yo, time out. I surrender. Then asks, how'd you tank that hit and spin my blade? Kit just roast him. You're too soft. Those mussies, just decoration. Hans looks totally shook. Because no one's ever called his abs fake news before. Karen's just keeping it 100 though. Hans admits no magic sparring is hopeless. Now, last year wasn't this rough. Says Karen might get shipped out soon. Maybe out west. Monster sightings are spiking there. Karin asks Leo if he heard. Leo's like, nope, not squating up with you. His sparring partner yells, eyes on the prize. Man. Leo apologizes. Hey, a mission might finally make mom and dad proud. Back to the boys. Pale admits he didn't summon Heinrich for mail. It's for something way sketchier. Shows him loot the inspectors snagged from a Bellis wagon. Heinrich checks it. Is this what I think it is? Pale nods. Yup, drugs. Need you to scope out Bellis, ASAP. Scene switch. Guy hops off the train. Is this a Thor fortress? Cut to Karen's straight up rating. Zerz's booze stash. 0 guilt. Total vibes. Stuck in a kid bod, but he still craves the top shelf stuff. Plus, swiping from Zer, always a rush. Then he peeps too, total rent. Guy asks if the Duke dipped. Says his business is super urgent. Butler says Duke's at the Capitol buttering up the king. Commander's boss. Now, Karen hollers at him, the butler. Nearly has a heart attack. Karen asks why they're creeping this late. Guys, Baron Rohan claims it's an emergency. Karen just gives him the Rohan babbles about Karan's dad the prince, who lost the throne game. Thing is, Karan actually woke up his magic and trains at Dude's being all formal while Karen's clutching stolen booze. Karen skips the small talk. Fine, spill it. Butler tries to redirect them, but Rohan's fixated on the kid's bottle. Karen shrugs. Usually, he sends minions for this stuff, But since you came personally, it's big. I'll hear you out. Butler goes to warn Zers. Karen's like, yep, run along. Rohan's thinking, kids got serious, political game, vibes, but that booze bottle is totally wrecking the mood. Is the fam seriously chill with a 12-year-old chugging hard stuff? Karan cuts the fluff. Is it those bandits camping in the east? Barony Peaks? Rohan nods. Yup, Karan starts rattling off facts like a wiki page. Since those jerks showed up, it's drug city. People get snatched and sold daily. Rohan sighs. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Our land is trash bad soil. No exports. We're broke. No army for a year, so we couldn't do squat to stop them. Dad snapped, grabbed the last few soldiers and tried to raid them. Spoiler. It sucked. They got absolutely wrecked out there. Now Dad's stuck in bed. I feel like total garbage for letting it happen. Karen slams the bottle down, saying those losers need to die. But something smells fishy. Even a weak army should crush random thugs. The math isn't mathing. Rohan thinks pros from the Southern War might be hiding in their ranks. Karen chews on that thought. Since we booted that evil emperor scum, the Imperial Army's been obsessed with the South. Totally distracted. North got ignored. Crime spiked. The deserter theory tracks perfectly. Then he flips the script and asks, if Rohan wants a sip? He grins. My barony is right next door to yours. I can't just leave you guys hanging on this one. I want to jump in and handle business personally. Rohan thanks him, but is internally freaking out about a kid serving booze. Karan whispers he swiped it from Zer. Keep it on the down low. Rohan blinks. Isn't Zer the night commander? Right on cue. Zer walks in. Thought I told you to quit stealing my stash. Rohan almost weights himself. Zer apologizes. Don't sweat it. Kid, you didn't know the deal here. He's already briefed on the bandit drama. Rohan nods. That's why he's here, begging for backup. Zeres gets serious. Karan just cracks up laughing nearby. Zeres snatches the cup. You're too young for this poison, brat. Karen pouts. Zer sigh, saying sorry to Rohan for the circus act. Rohan waves it off. It's chill. Zer says since Rohan came, they won't leave an old friend hanging. Rohan finally breathes easy. Zer promises troops are coming. Don't stress, we got this. Rohan's hyped to tell his people. Then Karen says, I'm coming to... Zer says, no way. Those enemies are pro-killers, not playground bullies. Rohan blinks. Was this kid actually for real? He trains hard, sure, but he looks maybe 12 tops. Zeres admits, in 3 years, he hit the magic. 4th star realm in sword form. But war isn't a game. Karen snaps. Stop babying me, old man. He'd rather head west. Facing a visible threat beats fighting ghosts. Zer's like, nope, no way Khan fights mobs without knowing their stats or spawn point. Karen smirks. You drops a deal, Zer literally can't say no. Zer and Rohan are clueless. Smash cut to Coconut Head, questioning his life choices. Karan's hyped. First mission vibes. Let's get it. Zer's salty. Got played and dragged Sabina into this mess. She's just grinning. Zer admits having a legendary bodyguard is a flex, though reminds her of her own newbie days. Total nostalgia trip. If she let Leo come, his training arc must be legit. Rohan shook. The White Wolf actually here. Still stressing about babysitting to new. If the Duke's grandkid gets scratched, Rohan's toast. Zer says, chill. Your nightmares ain't coming true today. Rohan sweating. Zer points at Sabina. We got insurance. Bruh. Then Sabina drops a nuke. She's AFK, unless they're literally dying. Leo and Rohan look absolutely cooked. Zer gets the tough love angle. But damn. Savage much. She's got her reasons for staying in the background. He sighs. Bet your call. Boss. Train whistle blows. Game time? Leo looks wrecked, hairline stressed, sweating buck. Sabina's like, nerves are normal, just show him your skills. 3 years of grinding XP, earn that Blue Wolf badge. Facts, Corinne teases, need a cheerleader to hype you up. Leo snaps, zip it. They hop on the train. Karen's like, let's claim our seats. Leo knew this boss battle was coming, just not this fast. Hours later, the carriage is yapping away. Sabina keeps it top secret stuff. In Azure City, she's gotta stay incognito or it's over. If baddies spot her, they'll dip faster than roaches. Rohan gets it, but is still low-key panicking about the duo. One kid's got zero chill, doesn't know fear, supposed to be a rookie run, while the other guy looks ready to hurl. Leo's in his feels about family, kinda jealous of that other guy. That lucky jerk really hit the jackpot. Flashback to mom raging. How are you chilling with Karan? He ain't your homie, Leo. He's the enemy, ruined our rep, and clowned your dad. Yet Leo's out here laughing with him like it's all good. Clap back for once. Leo's just like, my bad ma. But we aren't rivals. Even big bro Hugo, Mr. Genius, didn't hit 3 stars till 14. Karen crushed it at 13. Then there's Leo, barely hitting 3 stars at 15. The skill gap is real. Karen is the target to beat, but Leo's playing catch-up, not competition. She tells him to ditch the emo vibes. He's like, nah, it ain't that. Karen just makes him want to grind harder. It's pure fuel for the tank. She roasts him, saying he's totally blind staring at bark while missing the woods. Sabina cuts in, asking if he's really gonna let the jitters win today. He admits yeah kinda. She gets a tricky nerves and all but asks if he can actually slice a dude. Karen's the type who'd sell Leo out just to save his own hide. Total snake. But she knows Leo's built different. Time to quit the cell. She's seen his 3-year grind firsthand. She coached him. After all, he agrees, calling her master. She digs how that sounds. 20 minutes left until they hit the zone. Head pat time. She stands up, demanding he calls her master all trip. Rohan sees her bailing and asks where she's off to. Can't show her face at the station. Gus up, flies fast. She's ghosting early. He's like, the train is still moving. He keeps calling her White Empress. She's like, just Lady Sabina, thanks. Sabina totally zones him out and drops him in that she's watching the dummies so he can chill. Plus, if they wipe out, nobody's blaming him or his. Then she literally eats herself off the train. Dude cracks up. She's wild as always. Rohan and Leo are thinking, why is that whole family so crazy? Cut to some old geezer hacking a lung up. Rohan's dad apologizes for looking wrecked while greeting the young wolves. Karen sits, waving it off. No sweat, dude. Asking, how's the damage? Baron says he's safe now, thanks for asking. He asks if Karen recalls meeting him and his dad 10 years back. Says Karen grew up good. Karen's like, cut the fancy talk. It's weird. Rohan chimes in. ... Use young lord maybe. Karen says, staying chill is better. Baron figures Karen hit 4 stars, young to be on this gig. Karen points out Leo's 3 stars instead. And Leo's like, why am I catching strays? Karen's shocked a non-fighter knows the ranking lore. Baron says sending Karen means he's a big deal, fighting or not. So he's iffy about giving kids such a risky job. Karen gets it, but warns that failing would trash the Blue Wolves rep. Losing isn't an option. He nudges Leo, right? We got this. Baron chuckles, says thanks, then hacks up a lung again. Rohan worries. Karen says, dude needs a nap, let's bounce. The Baron hands the job off. Dude is totally prepped. Tail him. They bounce, but Leo. Karen teases. Gassed. Leo's like, nah, but is this plant geek legit? Sure, he knows the woods, but betting he's not with the ops, risky. Karen smirks, brain turning on. Yeah, dude's 100%. How? Leo asks. Karen points to his earlier chat with Rohan at the depot. I asked how we'd track their base. Rohan sighed, said he had to use a rat from inside. Karen figured that was a big brain move. Leo's salty though. Why didn't you say so? Karen's like, 'cause you were stressing all day. Bruh. Leo's shook. Walking with a snake on purpose. You're slick. Karen grins. Bingo. Dude roaming free proves they're desperate. That's why we're the bait. Rich kids crossing the turf. Tasty snack. Perfect trap. Looks like we're hooked. Herb guy spins. Goons behind him. Jackpot, he says. Nobles mean extra cash for me. Baldy grunts. These rich boys look like fighters. But our guy was craving a brawl. Blade out, he calls them bugs. Pushing drugs on my dad's turf. You're toast. Back at the bar, Baron's hacking up a storm. Rohan goes full worrywart mode, asking if he's chill. Pops lies. I'm good. Bro, you're dying. Not even close. Rohan passes water, like a magic cure. Baron nods. Thanks. Then Rohan frets. Think those kids will survive. Pops launches a lecture on how sending teens in blind means the bosses know their beasts. Also, he adds, that Karen kid is just like the young Duke. Same face, same swagger. Relax, they're crushing it. Rohan nods. Still, low-key panicking. Whatever. Forest scene. Total carnage. Karen speedrunning kills, slicing heads like melons. Leo watches the kid go Yep, absolute monster. Bandits are trembling. Minion tells Boss bruh, these kids are demons. Let's bail. But Boss has too much ego. He charges, screaming, disrespected by a brat. Never. I'll wreck you, he yells, jumping and powering up. Kid doesn't blink. Casual swing. You're too loud, he sighs, slicing the dude in half. Guy drops, definitely regretting everything. Leah freezes like, wait, when did I even draw my sword? Karen's cleaning his blade. Loki mad. His drip got bloody. Leo sheathes up, realizing pressure was so heavy, he nearly got ended without a clue. The leftover goon's hands up immediately, screeching. We quit. Karen grills one for a name. It's Got rope? Karen asks. Ura nods. Fetch it. Leo is completely lost in the sauce. Suddenly, they're tied up. Leo sighs. Bro, this necessary? Sure, but making the bad guy caddy their weapons seems a bit extra. Karen explains. They're bait to find the base. Gotta sell it. Can't just waltz in armed, right? Needs to look legit. He barks at Ura. You guys, deserters. Ura, spills. Kingdom of Seas. 9th Regiment. 1st Battalion. Leo blinks, dang, straight from the southern war zone. Karen asks, numbers. Ura drops it. 130 men, a mage, 2 knights. Karens, shook a mage, and 130 runners. Why? Ura sweats, boot. He figured they were just rich kids. But that blue eye glow earlier means they're house rested, the Empire's top dogs. Karens, stuck on the mage. Why run to the snowy north? Ura shrugs. Simple. Boss promised a chill retirement. So we followed. Karen connects the dots. A random captain with a high-tier mage. Just for cash? Math ain't mathing. Ura says they're close. Karen smirks. Let's see. At the base, guards roast Ura. Bro, you caught actual people? Where's the crew? Why hold their gear? Ura caps, claiming he soloed the brats. My kill. Back off. Others are chasing runaways. Open the gate. Stat. One guard mocks him, thirsty for the boss's praise. Another goes. Slowpoke, Ura snaps. Zip it. Karen notices something odd. For a bandit, Ura's kinda soft. He mentions sensing a weird vibe. Ura sweats, eyeing Karen's blade. Getting creeps here. Karen nods. If his sword's buzzing, it's bad news. Leo points. Look, crucified birds everywhere. Karen goes grim. Sacrifices is definitely black magic. Boom. Simple raid just turned into a demon cult mess. Karen stands there, knowing it's about to get real. Things get messy. So he tells Ura, cut the ropes and toss our swords back. Pronto. Like clockwork, the floor's magic circle lights up like a rave. Karen tells Leo to unsheath Sylphid fast cause things are about to get spicy. Leo's totally lost. Like, say what? Suddenly, skeletons burst from the dirt. Ura starts shrieking like a banshee. A zombie squad rises while some dude brags about us walking right into his trap. Calls it a divine gift or whatever. The creep squad leader, circled by archers, mocks the precious noble brats. Karen scans the Zono Black Wizard nearby. He's probably lurking, blasting, emo chants, or doing weirdo stuff. Then Karen goes savage, grabs Ura, and threatens to end him. You cool with this? Ura's trembling. And Leo's like, dude, we're the good guys. What happened to honor? The boss pauses, his goons locked and loaded, asking how a noble can pull such a dirty trick. Karen claps back. You do it. Why can't we? Ura just freezes, petrified. Boss man laughs. Cute, but that hostage is useless trash. Says Karen can do whatever. Karen sighs, calls Ura garbage to his face, making the big guy cry like a baby. Leo crunches numbers. We're screwed and asks, got a plan, bro? Karen grins. Duh. Just wreck the commander. Then he flares his aura. The boss spots the color and gasps, no way. Karen tells Leo, you take the skeletons. I got the boss. Leo's like, Karen unleashes blue mana that looks like tidal waves, then launches himself. Leo screams as a bony jerk attacks. Karen, you crazy? I can't solo this army. The boss yells for archers. Shoot. But Karen smirks. Too slow, pal. Unleashing a slick sword style, he flows like water, slicing off archer arms in one clean sweep. The boss reaches for his sword, but Karen sighs, annoying, and strikes. The boss watches his hand flop onto the dirt, drops and wail. Karen shrugs. Should have been quicker. Cheat? The boss curses, bastard. The fortress shouldn't have troops to spare. Why are you here? Karen explains this land neighbors his dad's turf. I won't kill you. Just dragging your butt back home. Meanwhile, Leo's playing Dynasty Warriors with the Bone Brigade. Karen nods. Not bad. While Leo internally screams. Archers aim, but nobody fires. Seeing a 3-year-old disarm the squad and slice the boss, total vibe killer. Karen tells Leo his C-Wave moves are okay. But honestly, just smash M with brute force. Bruh. Boss asks if he thinks he's safe. Karen asks, who are you? Guy says, Michael Knox. Karen spares him but stabs his knee. For emphasis, Mikey screams. Archers freeze up, totally shook. Laughing, Karen demands surrender. Mike yells, bows drop. Good boy. Karen grins. I love listeners. Mike can't believe 2 kids wrecked him, but acts tough. Wait for backup. House restin' won't save you. Karen goes, still, hopeful. You banking on that? Black Wizard. Hilarious. You think my fam sent just to... Leo clears the skeletons. Then, boom. Huge explosion. Obviously, Karen nods. They got a Guardian Knight. Master snagged the wizard while we enter Master, furious, holding the wiz's severed head. Leo waves high. And she rages. You missed the evidence. Missions, a bust. Karen boots, Mike, off the ledge. But did you like my style though? She admits, rushing in is something her would do fits her house vibe, so props for that. She tosses the head. Mike stares at his buddy, horrified. Why the hostage drama? she asks. Shock value, he says. Nobles don't do hot. Fair point, she says. Never met a noble like you. Total psycho. Karen takes the compliment. Bleeding Mike eyes the head, wondering if they're real nobles. Back to the castle, she orders. I got questions? He nods. Mike thinks, these guys are straight up nuts. Scene cuts to a sweet reunion. Slaves finding their fams. Dad screams for Isabel. She hugs him tight. He's crying, apologizing for failing her. Karen and Ura watch. Ura stares, feeling super guilty. Feel bad? Karen asks. Ura nods. Too early? Karen says. Prison might have been better than what's next. Ura's confused. Meaning, Karen says he's going to the fort with one-handed Mike. Why me? Ura. Even Sabina pipes up. Yo, aren't we gonna restrain this guy? Karen glances at Ura. Nah, we need a mule. For Mike dudes to wreck to walk. She mulls it over while Karen tells Ura to chill out. Suddenly, the ex-prisoners chime in. Is Ura gonna get wrecked too? Karen nods. Yup. Rules are rules. Technically, he's a bandit, same as the rest of the trash. One guy interrupts. Risking it all here? But Ura actually looked out for us. Snuck us meds when we were down bad. Fed the starving. To give the guy a break. Yeah. Sabina shoots a look at Karan. Well, your call. Karen shrugs. He did play GPS for us. Let's cut him some slack. Yuri lights up, swearing he'll stand Karen for life. Karen snaps. I said, chill. Don't get weird. Leo shouts. You guys gotta see this. They pop a lid. Karen's jaw hits the floor. No way. Magic stones galore. Locals cheer as the baddies get carted off. Leo grins. Bet Rohan throws a regger for this. He waves at the crowd while Karan plots in silence. Leo pokes him. Karen smirks. It clicks now. Why hide in these boonies? The Baron was totally clueless. That a gold mine was sitting right under his nose. Don't know the grade yet, but cash is cash. Leo sweats. Oh boy, here comes the hustle. Sabina spots Rohan rolling up while the crew cleans house. I'll handle the boss, man, Sabina says. We cool. Rohan nods. Sure, but quick favor. I'm just muscle. She talk to the kiddos. Rohan invites them to grub and chat. Karen's an instant buzz. Sorry, got a jet. Leo looks crushed. R.I.P. Free food. Rohan hesitates. About the bill, we're broke. Can we do an IOU? Karen's eyes flash dollar signs. Leo groans. Not again. Karen chuckles. Wondered why bandits picked this dump. Now I know. Rohan blinks. Huh. Karen keeps it real. This place is a zero resources. Rohan brisk. Karen cuts in. They weren't here for the view. He flashes the magic rock. Rohan gasps. Did you know you were sitting on this? Rohan shakes his head. Total news to me. Well then, Karen grins. Let's make a deal. Rohan asks, what? And Karen drops the bomb. We partner up. We fund it. We guard it. We split the loot. Rohan's brain is absolutely frying right now. This kid wants stuff that costs infinite money just to store. Security fees alone would be insane, but if a VIP from the main family buys in, that's actually huge for them. The math works, but who let a tween negotiate a deal this massive? Karen goes, gotta run this by my pops first. If this works, we get Fortress Knights stationed here. That means big bucks and free security. 2 birds, 1 stone, total win-win. Rohan asks, what cut the Duke's house wants? Karen's like, talk to my dad about the boring details. I'm just a kid. I don't do the fine print. Sabina's glowing like a proud mom, cause her student's a boss at 13. Heading back, Karen hits Sabina with a question. Why do you make things so messy at the bandit base? She mentions the wizard. Karan asks, cause he was basic? Nope. Ted Delarda? Class 2, criminal. 6 circle mage. Karan is shook, like jaw on the floor. Turns out, he was a major fugitive running with deserters. While the boys fought scrubs, they missed the boss. You only level up by fighting the big bads, she says. If Karan squashed a mage first, he'd have saved time. So, she calls it a fail. Learn from it, kid. Leo's standing there like, hello, am I invisible? Sabina spots him. Actually, you did pretty good. For your first zombie fight, be proud. Shorty? Leo's beaming now. Finally, getting some clout. Just get some confidence. And a better haircut, she roasts. Heinrich greets the boss. Hilo asks, any weird news? Heinrich's like, West Side Knights are back. And the boys return from their field trip with Sabina. Suddenly, a butler sprints over screen. Hala asks, why? Letter from the palace. The guy gasps. Halo's confused. He reads it and practically faints. The Emperor personally wants to see Karen. Big deal. Train pulls in. Yura drags Michael out like a bag of trash. He hits the dirt. He knew it was big, but, this fortress is actually ginormous. Holy cow. Michael, still salty about his hand, tells Yura. Don't believe that brat. We're totally going to jail. We gotta dip the second they look away. Yura just decks him. Zip it, loser. Leo and Karen are watching, enjoying the show. Yura goes, "You called me useless trash. Why save you?" Then Pale shows up and things get chaotic. Tipper. Karan beams at his dad. Pale asks Sabina, "You got summoned to..." Pale's like, "Yeah, totally. All because of that mess Karen caused on Bellis's turf. Total headache." But he admits Karen looks way too proud of himself. Leah bows super stiffly. Pale goes, "Heard you were a beast out there too. Bro." News travels fast. Big bro probably knows too, and he's gonna be hyped. Pale figures they're beat and says to crash inside. Walking in, Sabina asks, "What's the tea with the Empire?" Vibes are off. Pale spills the beans. The other big fams are suddenly all rallying around Duke Salmon and Maris Diaz. Heir tried to link with the Capital crew to figure out the drama, but ghosted it all after his chat with the Emperor flopped. Turns out, Salmon and Diaz actually yeeted the old ruler to install the new guy. So yeah, they're the main characters with the power now. Sabina's bro stepped back for the greater good, but turns out that was a mistake, considering how they're being treated now. Sabina sighs, guess the chill era is officially cancelled. Pale nods. Like it or not, their fam needs to clap back. Sabina thinks his kid stunt might actually be a huge win for them. Gives them a legit excuse to flex their army and expand territory. She calls the kid a legend for pulling that off right on cue. Pale blushes at the praise, saying the words are nice, but Sabina's like, "Not you. Genius. Ouch." Crew returns and Zerd nods. "Nice job. Heard about the runaway." Karen points at Michael. "That's the boss." Zer says, "I'll grill him while he's kicking." Hans spots the carrier. Guy Karen's like, "He's a baddie too. Bag him." Ura freaks, but Karen says, "Chill, he's a snitch. Go easy. I need a servant later." Karen tries to dip for a nap, but Zer hits him with a hard nope. Job's not done. Gotta file paperwork so they don't mess up next time. Karen asks, "Separate essays?" Zer says, "A group project is fine." Karen's face lights up. Perfect. He carried the fight, so Leo can carry the pen. Leo argues teamwork is faster. Karan whispers, "Think, bro, once you submit this, your dad reads it, use this to hype your skills. It's your chance to get major clout with Pops." Leo's like, "True. But won't flexing too hard? Look sus." Zer gets salty and yells at Hans to just haul the prisoners away. Sabina tosses the mage's head at Zer. Let the boys claim this kill for their homework. She and Karen bail, leaving Leo with the boring stuff. Leo shouts, "Yo, Karan, where you going?" Karen yells back, "Gym time? Hit for stars, so I can train solo now." Zer watches him go. "Kid's grinding already. Serious. Dude gets back and expects us to buy. He's just 13. As if kids built different." Late night, Heir summons the squad. Big news. Zer pulled up with the loot. Heir flexes monster, hide from the West Plains. Super rare drop. Looks basic, but the bad vibes inside are totally chaotic. It's the evil Emperor's dark mojo. The boys are shook. Pale goes, "Dude's been ghosted forever. Why's his goop here?" Halo interrupts. "Only two vibes possible. Either leftover crumbs of his will, or boss man is still alive. Either way, it links to the Empire drama." EMP heard the Bellis tea and summoned Karan to the cap. Ace. Raphael is salty. Pales, gagged. Hela says, Karen can't solo travel. Sending Leo and the boys. Asking Karen's vibe first though. If he passes, cool. Tails asks if that causes drama. Hela says, "Chill, Karan's just a little guy." But real talk, why'd Karen make that deal with Bellis Jr.? He's like, summon Karen now. Cut to Karen grinding XP. Totally clueless. He's gonna get grilled at a fam meet for his rogue side hustle. Karen spots Zer's mid-workout. "Yo, when'd you spawn?" Zer says recently. Karen heard, only main fam is allowed. Zer says gym access, but literally never enters. So what's the tea? Zer nods and spills. Karen's big boss wants him at the meeting for the deets. Before they enter, Butler opens up. Hela asks if the mission was lit. Karen's like, "Yup." Hela gets straight to business. Summoned him cause of that barren drama. No perms for deals. So why go rogue? Karen's like, "Sick. A roast session, not a party." Halo asks if he realized he totally dissed the Bellis fan. Karen goes, "Nah, made a deal." The son said yes. Plus, figured something mattered way more than manners. Halo asks, what beats being polite for a noble? Khan thinks, and says, "Fam cred." Halo vibes. With that, since the deal is gold, Khan could have flexed, but he put the fam first and chilled. Solid brain move, plus the joy of not getting banned for shady deals is a bonus. Uncles stare hard. Karen sees them watching like hawks. Halo goes, "Anyway, deal's a W for us. Pale can finish up. Honestly, dad leeching off son's grind is fair game." Pale dips at dawn. Halo brings up the imp. The king summoned Karen, since the rumors about him had already hit the capital. Karen's suspicious since the invite arrived before Heirlo even made it back. He wonders if the royal spy network is actually that cracked, but then remembers the current ruler is basically just a puppet. It has to be the shady nobles pulling the strings and spying. The room went dead silent, so Heirlo told Karen he could bail if he wanted to. Dad definitely knows that walking into the capital right now is risky business. Those fancy noble houses just want to scope them out and verify the hype. So staying low-key might be the big brain move here. Skipping is valid. Zer gives Heirlo the side-eye, confused why he is even offering a choice. Karen is like, duh, of course I'm going. He hasn't seen his mom's dad in ages, but he asks if he is riding solo, since Leo was part of the mission grind too. Heirlo says if Karan goes, Leo tags along with Han's squad as backup. Karan asks why he needs guards. If Grandpa is there, Heirlo drops a bomb. Get over yourself. They aren't watching you because you're special. It's because you're a ticking time bomb. Ouch. Roasted by his own dad. Later at the Bellis turf, they are wrapping up the business negotiations. Pale says thanks and checks if Rohan's pops is cool with the terms. Rohan confirms his old man already gave the green light. It is an 80-20 split for Resnan since Magic Rocks earn bank. Even a tiny slice is huge cash, but there is a super weird catch involved. Gifting 5% of that, cut to the kids, hurts the Bellis wallet. Yeah, the boys crushed the quest, but still, as a reward, that is insane pay, even for a top academy grad to offer. It is honestly way too much swag to give away. Rohan says it is to bribe them early. Pale is like, wow, zero chill, huh? Rohan claims he is investing in the future fortress bosses right now. Pale calls him shameless, but respects the hustle. It is a bold play. Baron Bellis is lucky. His kid is such a sharp operator. Rohan laughs off the praise, then asks what the boys think of the loot. Karan is practically drooling over the cash already, while Leo wonders why his buddy is grinning like a total creep. Karan says he will snap that offer up in a heartbeat. He spouts some nonsense about honor and partnership. Bro is lying hard. He just wants the bag. Later, Leo asks Karan a serious question. How are they going to split up the shares they just scored? Karen casually goes, I take 9. Leo gets 1. Leo asks, for real? Karan acts all innocent, asking why he is so shocked. Leo thought they were homies now, so that split feels kinda savage. But Leo is too tired to argue and just rolls with the bad deal. Karan tells him not to come crying if he changes his mind later. Pale watches them, thinking their old rivalry has turned into chat. This guy is delusional. He is totally misreading the room. Karen just scammed Leo out of 90% of the profits. These two, hardly a power couple. One's a total hustler, and the other just gets played like a fiddle. Smash cut to the brothers chatting, and Leo is absolutely losing his marbles. He's practically shouting, dude, no way, we're actually hitting up the capital. I'm clueless. All I've got is gossip and vibes. Zero facts. What's the play here? Karan just chills, looking at him like, bro, take a chill pill. But Leo isn't buying it. We're meeting the Emperor, the literal big boss. Pretty sure I've earned the right to freak out right now. Then his brain glitches, doing a complete 180 to hype up the fancy parties. Suddenly, he's obsessing over how the city is apparently crawling with gorgeous girls. Karan sighs, and then boom, Sabina spawns in like a ninja. She's hyped, claiming Dacis is lit, packed crowds and tons of op fighters everywhere. Leo blinks, totally lost. Oh wait, why are you even here? She grins, here to party for your first big mission, obviously. Now, where do you stash the wine glasses? Karen gives her a deadpan stare. Why would a 13-year-old have wine goblets? She just shrugs, Look, if it holds liquid, it works for booze. She chucks them some mugs and asks Leo if he's ever tasted the sauce. Leo confesses, he snuck a few sips, thanks to Karan's bad influence. Sabina sighs, roasting Karan for dragging his lil bro into his criminal antics, calling him a wine thief accomplice. Leo shrugs, ride or die, right? She pours up, telling him not to stall when the master is serving drinks. She gets all mushy, talking about how well they both grew up. Karen thanks her, and she reminisces about promising to train him 3 years ago. Honestly, she's kinda bummed she won't be there to see it. She's gonna miss the absolute mayhem he's about to drop on the city. Leo mentions her North Sea trip, then bursts into tears, like, is this goodbye forever? Sabina instantly flames him. You're this fragile? Good luck talking to girls, wimp. Leo turns beet red, and then she drops a truth bomb. If you hit the parties, do not go with Karan. Leo's clueless. Wait, with his looks, skills, and that smooth talk. Do the math, kid. It hits Leo hard. His brother is gonna steal all the clout. He grabs Karen's shoulder. Dude, you're literally ruining my love life. Karan claps back, telling Leo to zip it and chug his drink. Meanwhile, Heirlo is drinking tooth. This family loves booze. Knock at the door. It's Pale. Heirlo yells enter, and Pale asks if he was summoned. Heirlo nods, bringing up the D.O. Pale just closed with Bailey. Apparently, they agreed to hand their cut to the boys. Pretty insane move. Pale says the young baron swayed them. Bellis called it a future investment. Yahello is impressed Bellis's kid is sharp. Good allies are key. He tells Pale he's dumping the whole Bellis. Prod get on him, and Pale agrees to handle it. Yahello pours him a cold one. Pale says thanks, but gets serious. Dad doesn't praise for free what's to catch. He figures it's probably about the trip to Khan's capital. Yahello agrees, noting that the emperors never actually slide into anyone's DMs but his, so Karan getting an invite is super sus. Pale knew it. Yahello adds that during their private chat, he saw it. That terror in the emperor's eyes again. The vibe you get when you know ... Yahello wrecked the last evil ruler and might just hit replay on him. That's why Yahello reckons there's other shady politics at play. Pale asks if it's mind games, and Yahello's like, totally. Pale notes that with every big shot family swarming the capitals. Seen Yahello could have ghosted the emperor, but didn't. He asks why. Yahello chuckles, admitting he wants to see Karen's true grit. Pale's shook. Yahello explains the ancestor's blade literally picked Karan. So like it or not, the kid is ... stuck being the main character of this family. Being arrested means catching heat constantly. That's why Yahello didn't say no. If Karen's carrying the fam's future, he's gotta prove he can handle it. He asks Pale, you sweating about kid? Pale instantly downs his drink and hacks a lung out, coughing everywhere. Pale gets real, saying he actually trusts his kid. Yahello beams like a proud dad and says, that's the answer, bro. Next day, Sabina prepped a horse to dip out. Zur asks, no, bye-bye. She says, nah, we partied last night, we're good. Zur wonders why everyone keeps jacking his booze. Sabina adds, anyway, the boys are gonna be busy, ... heading to the capital today. Better if I just ghost them quietly. Catch him later. Zur promises to keep the wine rack full. Till then, before bouncing, she glances at Karen's window. He gives a little bow. She grins, mumbling, see you next time, kid. Then she jets back to the north, see basically her crib. She told Karen to slide by anytime, she'll have the good stuff waiting. Karan thinks she really just dipped with nothing but a note. With her gone, his uncles might act up. Right on cue, Tails reports, the aunt bailed. Karen's just like, speak of the devil. Cut to, a few days later, the squad is finally ready for the big trip. At the station, Henrik plays responsible adult, checking if the boss's luggage is loaded. Everyone confirms they're good too. Go, while stressing over their fits and gear. Karan gets salty, asking Zur why they're making such a huge scene. Zur is like, cause you're repping the whole fam in front of the emperor? You gotta look fly, dude. Karen sighs, fine. But why's Han's whole crew tagging along? Zur claims it's for security. But Han busts him, saying Zur's just scared Karen will start drama. Karan tells him to zip it, whining that this crowd is gonna be a total migraine. Flashback time to when Tails rolled up on him. They dap up, and Tails is like, heading to the big city. Bro, Karen nods. Then Tails hits him with, I need a solid though. Karen goes, spill the tea. And Tails drops the bomb. Don't act like a total clown in the capital like you did here. You catch my drift? No need to spell it out. Karen's vibe. So you're straight up admitting you've been stalking me. Nice? Tails doesn't blink. Haters in the city want to wreck our fam. Give MMO, and I'll ground you myself. Painfully. Karen smirks. AW, warm fuzzies. I'll be on my best behavior. Totally. Tails, waves, just come back in one piece. Loser. Karen watches him dip and chuckles. Punish me, please. Think he can boss me around just cause he's Prince #1. He's plotting to wipe that smug grin off Tails' face. Just you wait. Snap back to now. Bags packed. We ready? He warns Hans, mess this up, and you're toast. Suddenly, big guy bursts in. Sorry, I'm late. Thanks for the shot. Karen, staying true to his brand. Says Jill, I'm only taking you to jail. You later? Stay sharp. Then the speakers blare, telling everyone to get their butts on the train. Hans tells Zur, they're out. Zur warns them, don't embarrass us. Karen sighs, we look like a total gang of hood. Zurus drops a quote about leaky bowls, then kicks him out the door. Before they can bail, they hear Pale sprinting over, gasping, made it. Karen blinks. Pops, what are you doing here? Gramps called, but I had to see my boy before you dipped. Oh, and your mom's dad is super hyped to see you in the city. Karen grins. Can't wait. Bet the old man's got loot for me. Pale squeezes his shoulder. Be safe, son, and don't start a riot. Cut to Tails' room. That sneak hears Karen and Leo finally left. Messenger adds, got dirt on the second prince's wife. She's plotting something. Tails yawns, not my problem. I'm staying out of that mess. Train rolls out. Finally, Karen asks ETA to the city. 6 hours. Hans says, crossing the TB zone. Karen frowns. The what now? Leo geeks out. The city where regular folks, actually, Vote for their boss and trade stuff instead of farming dirt? Karen asks, is that where all the cash flows? Hans nods. Yep. Money is power. Their bank accounts give him serious clout, but they also, watched by jelly lords from other zones who are total haters. Karen recalls surf-stitching evil bosses to hide out there. Hans says they're actually chill with that fortress. They even hire the knights for big gigs sometimes. Karan's hyped. He wants to visit if he can. Intercom Boz is entering the zone soon. Karan's already scheming to ditch the tour and explore solo. Leo wants it. Suddenly, his sword starts vibing weirdly. He freezes. Vibrating sword equals imminent danger. His brain goes into overdrive. Did those jerks plan a spy? Nah, not that dumb. Then, it clicks. He yells at Hans to radio the territory ASAP. Hans is lost. Karen screams, alert, everyone, incoming attack. Hans dials while wondering if it's an outside hit. How do you jump a moving train? Here is the answer. Lit fuse meets a stack of boom barrels right on the tracks. Back at base, dudes are in. Total meltdown cause the tax bureau is wrecking them. Guy admits to laundering. Talk about a cell phone. Everyone's screaming. They look at the mayor. Fix this. Dude just sits there, questioning his entire existence. He's thinking, why did I take this gig? Should have retired post-finance ministry and he thought this city would be a utopian paradise. Nope, it is just everyone fighting 24/7. Total dumpster fire. Guy barges in, whispers intel to mayor, then dips. The whole table is like, bruh, why interrupt us? Tax stuff. Mayor's like, nah, way bigger than that. Lights a match like a drama queen. They're lost. Why is he ignoring the tax audit? Audit canceled. Then mayor drops the mic. Nope. I told the feds to get lost. Also, 5 minutes ago, that train went boom. The one with the Duke's grandkids. Room goes ice cold. They panic. He looks at him like, you guys slow? We are toast. Duke's grandson was on it. Scene switch. Karen wakes up to Hans looming. Hans checks him. Karen's like, I'm good. While patching Leo, Hans gets stats. 11 hurt, 1 bad. Dale is wrecked. 2 in their car. Straight up, got. Even yours responding. Yo, we are cooked. Like, extra crispy bad. Where are we at, Hans? 10 clicks from TB Turf. Bro, hit him up already. Don't sweat it. Gang's up. So the cavalry's def rolling out by now. Me on the squaddle stall. MU and Leo, yeet yourselves out of here. Got it. But Karen's ghosting him, staring at his glowing sword. Ops are close. Then boom, Spots kicks outside the window. Sorry fam, but fleeing. Yeah, that's a hard pass. Why though? Hans asks. Karen's ice cold. They wrecked the boss's railway. That's straight up treason. Ain't running from garbage. He checks Leo. You good to throw hands? Leo nods. Karen slices a dude's legs off instantly. Only one option, best. Guy faceplants, then looks up all shook. Karen glares, then yeets him into orbit to finish his thought. We delete them all. Right? Now, trio hops off. Karen's like, whoa, that's a lot of goons. Knights roll out to, it's giving WrestleMania main event vibes. They're 3-star trash, Hans says, but Boss Man is 6-star. Karen spots. Big Bad yells at Karen to drop the loot and quit. Voice is totally auto-tuned by magic. Says if Karen chills, the squad walks free. Karen clicks they want him breathing. You get what that means? Hans goes, don't even, ... Karen interrupts. Oh, I defen. They can't una leave May, but I can smoke 'em, easy clap. Boys, look at him like he's psycho. Karen Yola charges, dropping a fool instantly. Then everybody piles in. Knights versus ninjas. Total mayhem. Push mid and wipe him. Karen screams, but spots the ops lagging. He's like, my turn to carry. Goons whine, not in the contract. Boss yells, move, I'll 1v1 him. Karen's thinking finally, but then, Hans jumps in front. Totally jumps. This dude's cracked. Back off. Hans warns. Boss goes, you got a death wish. Hans smirks. Let's find out. Zero hesitation. Hans yeets himself into the air. Ops readies up and they start scrapping instantly. Sparks flying like fireworks. But the guy Parisons, easy. Slamming our boy into the dirt. Ragdoll. Hans hits the floor like, haul up, ... That parry was way too clean. He dusts off and goes, full Sherlock mode. Saw those moves. I know exactly who you are. Bro, this 6-star jerk is she hacks, Knight of the Pabs. Big deal. Here's the tea. Empire and Sultanate have a no-fighting pact. So they're supposed to be best. So Hans is like, then why are you chasing us? Karen and the Sultanate have zero beef. Total peace vibes. But standing around won't work. Gotta beat the answers out of him. Meanwhile, the battle does a total 180. The juniors are slaying, but Akeem isn't buying the distraction. He rushes Hans, forcing him to play defense. Like, bro, do you really have time to zone out? Hans claps back. Your squad is toast. And glares hard. Then Boomora burst yeets Hakeem back. Reset button. Hans tells him resisting is totally cringe. It's pointless. Just rage quit while you can. Hakim sees his team wiped. Hans goes, surrender and live. Dude, don't die here for literally nothing. But Hakim's on that toxic loyalty grind, refusing to listen. Can't fix stupid. I'm completing this mission. Suddenly his eyes go full. Demon mode black. Red Hans spots the popped blood vessels instantly. Aura changes color. Hans is like, big yikes. Mana, backlash. This guy's planning a suicide run. Capture is a no-go. The kids are in big trouble too. So he does the only logical thing. Unlocks his own mana to tank the incoming nuke. Eyes glowing blue. He braces for impact. Hakim rushes in. Hans powers up, but Karen interrupts, looking bored. He's like, yo, I'm the babysitter, but you're the one making a mess. Did you rage quit your job already? Hakim spins around. Shook that Karen is actually aggro. Karen goes, I do what I want, and chops Hakim's arm off. Literally disarmed him savage. Hakim backs off, calling Karen a total monster. Karen smirks, I'll take that as a compliment. But his sword starts buzzing again. Still a threat. What's the play, Hakim? Hans is lagging. Hakim apologizes, saying no hard feelings. Karen's confused. Sorry for what? Exactly. Mana spikes. Hans screams, protect Leo, now. Leo stands there, head completely empty. Zero survival instincts. Everyone jumps to save him. Hans tackles Karen to the floor. Karen's like, get off me, weird. He's gonna blow it. My bad, Hans admits. The energy swirls violently, and we see Hakim's body crumbling. Hans covers Karen, taking the heat. Voice in Karen's head. Fool, thanks for the blood. Voice is like, yo, unless you want, ... your eyes to pop. Shut him. Now. Karan wakes up and shakes Hans. Bro, nap time's over. Get up. Then kicks him. Hans groans. Dude, I literally died for you. Respect. Karan sneers. Didn't ask for a hero? Voice comes back. Without them, you'd be toast. Karen freezes. Wait, who's talking inside my brain? He eyes his blade. The voice keeps yapping. Hakim's likely burger meat now. You should say thanks. Karen ignores it. Sword nags? Hello. You deaf? Karen blinks. Whoa. Pause. My sword talks. And it won't shut up. Turns out, dude had a chatty ego sword all along. Comparison time. Boom 2 was basically a nuke compared to the first one. Skip ahead a bit. Soldiers claw out of the rubble. But Karan's still obsessing over chatty Kathy. He goes, okay, I read about this online or something. Crazy smiths forge souls into blades. Talking blades. Guillotine snaps. Compare me to that trash again. I'll slice you. Karen retorts, kill me over that. Then why save my butt earlier? Guillotine sighs. But if I hadn't, double quotes, ... burned my mana. Saving you, you'd be headless already. A carriage rolls up. Hans panics. Enemies. Karen chills. Nah, we're good. Guillotine whines. My mana tank is empty. I'm drained. Karen asks, is the ... only recharge method slicing bad guys? Guillotine ... or I could just drink your blood. Knight jumps out. Captain Harry. TB. Vigilante Corps. Karen cuts in. Wait, you want my blood? Total demon sword vibe. Hans speaks up, but Guillotine's done. I'm out. Back to the sheath. Can't deal with this moron. Great. Karen snips. Zip it. He sheathes the blade during intro. Harry says TB feels guilty for dragging them into this. Mayor sent him to escort the Duke's crew. Karen nods. Cool. We got injured, folks. We're relying on you. In the carriage, Karen sits back, soaking in blood. Hans wants to double. Shouldn't we just head back to base? Cops are checking the site, but who ... knows when they'll finish. Still dangerous out here. Karan's chill. Already pinged Dronzer, so he should be zooming over soon. He tells Hans, bro, stop over. You're frying your brain. Capitol Guard's already bailed, so zero stress there. We're good. Real talk though, who is the guy who went boom? Hans know him. Yup, Heim, 6-star baddie, from the Pabar. Karen's brain buffers for a sec. Like, Pabar? That spot past the silent desert in the east. Is our peace treaty totally cooked, or what? Great. The drama is getting spicy by the second. Hans agrees, the vibes are off lately, but this reckless stunt isn't their style. Karen's just like, doesn't matter. This stunt equals war. Then asks Leo, you feel me? Leo's like, yup, but he was totally zoning out. We see his hand shaking while clutching a uniform soaked in red. Can't stop the shakes. He mumbles. Karen's like, I get it. First, kill jitter. Totally normal to be offing people never feels good. But gotta push through. That's survival. Karen nods, checking the view. City looks pretty sick though. Hans agrees. Mayor's like, huge relief. You guys didn't die. We're gonna do everything we can to find the bad guys. We'll totally help your squad investigate. He starts. Also, ... Karn cuts in. We know you're clean. Hans tells Gren to chill out. Hans notes Gren's vibe changed. Since his finance minister days, Gren's like, don't remind me. I regret taking this cursed job. Sorry for ranting in front of VIPs. My bad. Karen says, drop the act. Hate that stiff formal talk, old timer. Gren, speak casually to a duke's kid. No way. I couldn't. Karan, prove you're real then. On your knees? Gren panics. JK, I'll take the kindness. Karen's like, cool, let's bounce somewhere else to chat. Pouring wine, Karen starts spilling the tea on his theory. Smugglers hit them. No magic used, just raw attacks. They used explosives on the tracks. He knows those bombs can be snagged without going through official channels. Gren's like, facts. That's true, Karen explains. Stealing official Empire bombs. Basically impossible. But what if the goods came from outside, like smuggled in from the Gren clicks. Only they and the Empire make the Heir stuff. Karen asks, are some merchants and TB involved? Cause that would totally wreck you, Gren. Gren's shook by the logic. Yeah, chances are high. Karen Gudge disagree and you'd look totally sussed right now. With total morons running the smuggling game, getting framed is basically inevitable. He hits Gren with a serious warning. Gren's sweating bullets like, a what? Kuran gets all up in his face. You messed up the fort in my nights, bro. Gren realizes he's totally trapped in a mess. With house arrest in, they pay back favors, times 10, but revenge, times 100. Refuse, and he's toast. Panicking, Gren's like, so, how's your pops doing? Karen's like, do you even know him? Gren lies. Duh, we're basically brothers. That sudden drama proves you're a total politician. Karen smirks. Gren's dripping sweat but goes, hey, life is all about the performance. Suddenly, Gren's assistant barges in. Yo, call from the capital, just dropped. Gren thinks it's just the guard. Assistant shakes his head. It's way worse. The tax service head honcho himself is coming with Special Division 1. Gren goes ghost white. That dude is literally known as the Demon King. It's Commissioner Gail Farish from the National Tax Service. Gren's losing it. Like, he's seriously coming here himself. He asks Khan if he knew. Khan shrugs. Totally chill about it. Yep, Gramps loves me. He's going all out to save his fave grandson. So yeah, the Tax Reaper is here and he is absolutely not playing games. Flash forward to the other side of TB territory real quick. Folks are chilling when suddenly a massive army stomps through. And bringing up the rear, yep, that's Gale in the flesh. Hiding in alleys. People whisper, dang, speedrun much. It involves and when it's family, Gramps says zero chill. Meanwhile, over at the mayor's crib, these guild creeps are freaking out. Why? A tax audit. Why? Literally now. Like Burr, you can't just drop this bomb without a heads up. They need a hot minute to hide their sketchy business. Their puppet mayor was supposed to buy time to delete the evidence. And worst of all, it's Special Division 1 running the show. Literally, the nightmare team for this kind of thing. Gren thinks, these dummies don't get their cooked, even after I helped. Karen steps in with a reality check. You guys didn't just you wrecked Imperial train tracks, jumped Duke Reston's grandson, and fought knights, using smuggled boom booms that definitely came from your guild. So yeah, pretty obvious why the Emperor's personal tax squad is kicking down your door right now. The merchants finally realize it's game over. One tries to save face, claiming they just needed a heads up to get ready. Karen asks for a name, and the guy spills it. Viscount whom? Karen grins. Cool, I'll definitely mention you to my grandpa. You know, the head of the National Tax Service? Dude's face went completely He starts backtracking hard. Wait, let's talk about this. Too slow. The door flies open and BAM Special Division 1 crashes the party. Room goes dead, silent as Gale, shouts, surprise audit. We're checking everyone's receipts right now. The tax bureau caught wind of shady deals, tax dodging, and dirty cash. Even the Emperor himself signed off on this raid. Karen's just zoning out, thinking Gramps actually slays in that uniform. Way better than a boring suit. Leo nudges Hans, whispering, yo, are these Division 1 guys actually legit? Hans is like, brr. They hunt whale-stop guilds, nobles, the works. Since they battle big shots, they can literally summon the Imperial Guard. Serious business. Think of them as the fantasy IRS on steroids. Leo gulps. So basically, pay up or get wrecked. Got it. While they gossip, Gale approaches Karen. 3 years? Kid, how's life? Karen plays the good grandson card. Doing great, Gramps. Good to see ya. Gramps checks for boo-boos. But Karen's like, nah. Then Gale gets serious. Who do you think did this? Karen shakes his head. Not my uncles. They're too smart to leave clues. This mess sloppy. Whoever Dita wants us to blame the Pabs. They're practically screaming their names. Gale pats his head. I know you want to go full John Wick on them, but as your grandpa, that's a hard no. You got skills, kid, but the world's crawling with beasts, scary enough to eat you. Besides, you've got haters right here, waiting to take a shot. So chill. We head to the capital, at dawn per orders. Let the grown-ups handle the trash. Karen flashes a grin. Sure thing, I'll stay put. Total lie. His eyes are glowing, and he's got that psycho smile. Gramps knows it's Cap. Gramps thinks, yeah right, that boy's sneaking out 5 minutes ago. Meanwhile, some merchant dude is losing it, tossing junk into wagons like the house is on fire. He storms out, screaming at his crew, why are we still here? Everything's packed. His wife asks if he's coming. Don't worry, he lies. I'll catch up. As they roll out, they yell for him to hurry. Once they vanish, he sighs. Just had to save them first. Then he spots a shadow on the roof. Target locked, the spy whispers. No stay on him. Back at base, Karen's up late, polishing his blade. Totally normal teen stuff. Zer walks in. Bro, really? Sharpening swords at midnight. You looking for trouble? Karen doesn't look up. Did you come here just to lecture me? Zer stares. Look, Commissioner said, you're grounded. No leaving. Karen smirks. You gonna try and stop me? Nah, Zer says. I got orders from the boss. Listen close. Find the rats who did this and absolutely destroy them. Make him bleed for every soul snagged, and school him on fortress rules. Karen cackles, claiming he was totally plotting. That anyway. So he's hyped to take the gig. Zara sighs, sensing a brutal jump cut. City vibes. Walking downtown, Leo whines. Do we gotta be this extra? Karen's like, informants in the shady zone. Bruh, deal with it. Leo grumbles. But why am I the butler? Karen roasts his tragic haircut. Also, 2 rich kids roaming solo looks super sus. Leo's still salty about the servant bit. Karen arrows, dude, are you deaf? In a creepy alley, Leo gets the heat. Karen teases. Bail if you want. Guy pops up. Not a playground for fancy lads. You lost. Karen grips his blade. Guy goes, relax. Zara sent me. I'm Julio. Hop in the soundproof whip. Let's chat. Karen clocks that. Julio's a local and asks how he got roped into Julio claims he's paying back a solid. Zer did him ages ago. Karen skips the small talk. Heard someone's bombing the fam with contraband boom. Who is it? Julio nods. Only 2 crews deal that forbidden bang. Kuruwa and Kiga. Kiru's totally legit here now. Quit the dark web stuff. Karen asks about Kyo. Julio says, ex-slaves chasing quick cash. BTW day bounced from the city today. Matches the attack time. Karen's suspect meter spikes. Broke ex-slaves needing dough. Leo asks where to check. Karen smirks, no brainer. Desperate folks do dumb stuff first. At Grants he asks Gale, safe to leave the kids solo. Gale sighs, in-law begged via letter. Hands are tied. Turns out, Karen asks Gale to invent a reason to stall bro, or he'd have gone rogue sans permission. Gale's shook, but Gren says chill. He's skilled. He's 13. Gale cries. Gren shrugs. Genius. Age is zip. Gale warns. TB is sketchy. Coors bribed politicians to get and big houses are citying restin' hard. Emperor stepped in, so greed didn't rule the world. Gren wanted a chill retirement, but nah. Then, bombshell. Mason's in town. Gale gasps. The shield guy, 8-star Knight Mason. If so, GG. Back to the squad. Julio says, we here. Karen asks, only door. Julio nods. Karen notes they could trap M inside IF. Julio yanks a book Leva Classic Black Market vibes and announces it's basement time. Heading down, Leo gets that nagging. This is gonna suck feeling. No easy entry here. 2 beefy guards block the path. They spot Julio, who claims he's just bringing guards go. We know he's a VIP. The boss said close today. Tough luck. Julio asks why, but they just shrug orders from the top. He pushes for info, but they're clueless and tell him to scrimp. All polite until one guard starts unsheathing his steel. Karen's like, whoa, actually gonna try and slice us. He grabs his own hilt, daring him to try it for the laughs. Leo's sweating. Dude, why are you antagonizing him? But Karen provokes him. Come on, draw already, I'm waiting. Then Karen yells, Leo, go for plan B, right now. Leo freezes. There definitely wasn't a plan B. Blades come out, and Leo realizes Karen totally improved that to start a fight. First, guard size? Well, you left me no choice. But his buddy yells at him to hold his horses. Then guillotine pipes up. You. I refuse to taste their trash blood. Karen blinks. How are you chatting inside the sheath? The sword quips. I just need your hand on the handle. Genius. Karen swings. The guard blocks, and Karen smirks. Convenient. We watch the guard's sword literally snap in two. The other guard panics, but Leo rushes him before he can blink. Julio whistles. That's the fierce skill of the rest family wolves. Leo disarms his guy, but snaps. Warn me before pulling stunts. Next time. Karen laughs. You looked like you were having fun though. Karen suggests hostages, and Julio calls him an absolute savage. Guards ask if he seriously thinks he'll walk out of here alive. Suddenly, a guard's chest glows. Red lady says, "Enough. Quit manhandling my crew," she orders. Karen teases, "Oh, the big bad boss cares about her minions. They've stuck by me," she says. "Can't let a wild pup maul them?" Leo realizes she already knows exactly who they are. Despite the drama, she invites them inside. Karen replies, "Cool, but I have trust issues. Hostages stay." She sighs. "Rumors were right. You love Come on up." She tells Cal to guide them. Meanwhile, back with Gale. He mutters, "If Mason is here, it only means one thing. He's with that chaotic brat, the sixth prince." The Emperor personally assigned Mason to babysit the prince. But that kid is wildly unpredictable. Gren shrugs. He's a mage, probably just shopping for gear. Gale's sweating about him, and Karen crossing paths. Gren says, it'll be fine, but Gale shoots him a look. Karen fires, even when there's nothing to burn. They step inside, and Karen's stunned to see a masked kid chilling on the couch like he owns the place. The brat asks, "You Karen?" But Karen's too distracted by the insane aura coming from the guard. Behind him, that power belongs to an 8-star masterware talking top tier. Same league as legends like You can count masters that's strong on one hand in this entire empire. So who is this kid? Karen clocks the bodyguard and knows this is no average playdate. Karen asks, "You the president of Kigo or something?" "Nah," the kid smirks. "Just visiting my sis." Ding ding, he's the president's little brother. Sworn siblings. Actually, the kid corrects. "But hey, nice to meet ya." Karen decides to YOLO it and lunges in with a slick fortress combat skill. The whole room freezes. Did he seriously just do something that crazy? The kid bursts out laughing. "Look, Mason, I'm officially a hostage now." He says this is way more spicy than tea time, and he's loving the drama. Rio asks if a ransom note is next, but Karen's focused. Gold eyes, black hair, 8-star guard. That combo screams that this hostage is actually the 6th prince. Rio jokes, "Want to demand the throne?" Karen decides this kid is legally insane. Just then, a total baddie walks in a gorgeous elf lady. She spots the situation and asks, "Swapped hostages while I was out. Care to explain?" Our boy just shrugs, claiming he up to a pricier hostage and asks for her opinion. She doubts the kid is worth much, but asks why Karen's suddenly talking so fancy. Karen claims it's respect for an elder elf, but mostly because she and Rio radiate raw magic power. They're both mages, but she's clearly playing in the big leagues. She cuts to the chase. "If you're hunting for the train explosives, it wasn't us. So lower the sword and let's chat like humans." Karen frowns, "And I should trust you because if she attacked his family, she wouldn't be sloppy enough to leave clues." She flexes her mana, and Karen realizes she's a terrifying 7th. After that little power trip, she asks, "So, ready to talk, or do you want to keep playing the hostage game?" Cut to later, vibes are chill, and Rio and Mason finally drop the masks. While the elf lady pours tea, she explains, "Yeah, we have explosives, but only for Rio's weird science projects." She makes it painfully clear they didn't touch the Reston family. They're science nerds, not terrorists. Karen guesses, the Cura merchants then, but she shuts him down. "Please, those chickens couldn't pull that off if you paid them." Then Karen notices Rio, sliding way too close. "Dude, get your arm off me." Rio grins. "What's the issue? We're besties now? Just call me Rio." Karen rolls his eyes. "Yeah, in your dreams?" Mason panics about respecting the prince, but Rio tells him to take a chill pill. Mason is basically having a mental breakdown watching his brother's grandson act like such a chaotic brat. Meanwhile, Karen's brain is spinning this kid, no halo. Before the vibe turns toxic, Elf Mom cuts through. "The noise, focus, people," she says. "Sorry, I'm late. I'm Pina, the boss here, stoked to meet the grandkids of Halo. The legend." She swears the bombs weren't hers, but she knows who lit the fuse. One catch. Karen sighs. "Saw that coming. Spill it." Then things go totally off the rails. Be besties with Rio. Karen spots the red flag instantly. Mixing with royals. That's a nightmare. A duke and a prince. No one buys the just chilling act. It screams political drama. Leo shrugs. "So what? Kids can hang if they want. Helps the Restons anyway." Karen's like, "Make it make sense." Leo explains the family has to move soon. This vibe keeps the royals and snobs guessing. Karen admits he's not crazy, but asks why Leo's trying so hard for them. Rio chips in. "I'm down for anything that ticks off my dad. My life goal? Be a first-class disappointment. Get it?" Karen looks at him. "No, you're unhinged." Pina interrupts. "What's the plan?" Nights are stalling. Clock's ticking. Karen's lost, so she breaks it down. "Those guards with One, they aren't here for what you think." Meaning, Karen asks, she spills the tea. Reston kids attacked, but guards are solving it. "Weird. Ever think that's super sus?" Karen clicks. "You saying the guards are in on it?" "Depends on the villain." she smirks. But their goal is definitely not ours. That's facts. She slides a file. We tracked the bad guys. Every move you down. Karen stares. Brain buffering. Later. Panic mode. Alan's stressing as boxers fly. Faster, idiots. Inside, he's screaming. He was supposed to bag a title and wipe his record once the hit landed. He's crying. That title was right. There, now he's toast cause those brats survived. Silver lining, family's safe. Small wins. A guy screams. Knights, they're raiding the place. Alan shakes. The Royal Guard? Nope. Karen's voice floats in. Late night grind. Respect? The aide tells Alan, not the guard. Karen smirks. Busy house you got. Alan spots the resting crest. Karen nod. Bingo. So yeah, that's the loser noble Al tried to waste. Karen gives him major side-eye for trying to unalive someone. Al's super obsessed with his Zer drops the goods, and Karen's like, thanks. Then our boy flexes a gross red bag, teasing Al about the surprise inside. Al flips out, screaming, is my family in there? Karen's cold as ice, basically daring him to take a peek. Al looks, sees chopped hands, thinks it's his crew, and totally loses it. Karen smacks him back to reality, saying, chill, you really think those rough mitts belong to your spoiled folks? Those belong to the hitman sent to wipe out your kin. Al starts bawling and thanking Karen, but Karen cuts the party short. Dude teamed up with killers and caused chaos. Not cool. He only saved the family cause they didn't do zip. But Al, guilty. He's rotting in the dungeon forever. Yikes. Good times. Karan tells Zer to drag him off. Now, back to Elf Mom. She asks Leo if the gossip about the sick emperor is actually true. Leo's like, it's a total mess with the rich kids. War nuts are loving it, and the guards are fighting each other. She spots that the beef between the war fans and the chill crowd is heating up. But hey, Leo's got backup now. He gives props and brags that Karen's totally on Team Leo cause he's so charming. Pua calls him out for changing, and Rio admits it's true. He says after dodging drama, his mom got taken out in TB land. If Mason wasn't there, Leo would have been toast too. And without her, zero magic skills for him. They made him who he is, and Karan's gonna be huge for him too. At the mayor's crib, Gale is confused as heck. Gren thinks spilling all the tea publicly is way too wild. Gale agrees, saying it'll ruin their rep. Is Gren cool with that? Gren asks if Karen is gonna take the heat. Kin says, nah, not his problem. It's so the shady puppeteers can't hide the truth. Plus, Gren looks like a total hero fighting bad guys. So, everyone wins. Zars recalls Halo saying, let Karen run wild. He's clueless on the plan, but orders are orders. Guess everyone just has to trust Karen and enjoy the ride. At the mansion, the butler tells Halo, yo Karen, hit us up. Halo reads it going, hold up, this maniac wants to leak everything. The dirt, the drama, all of it. Butler's just like, yep, that's the plan. Pale strolls in, like you rang, and Hollow spills the tea on Karan's wild scheme. Says the council already swore they'd help stop future attacks. Totally on board. Then hits Pale with, thoughts on your boy's big brain move? Pale skims it, eyes popping out. He sees Khan's true game. It ain't just about payback. Kids wrecking the whole political vibe in TB, empowering a mayor who's been a total NPC until now. Halo nods. Council's treated this city like a sandbox forever. Time to expose them. One of those guys paid for the attack on us. Their rep is cooked. Admits Karen's a wild brat, giving him stress daily. But dang, the kid got his revenge and leveled up our clout instantly. Pale's not hyping it. Yet, Halo, Karen's 30. He should be doing homework, not crushing governments. Halo just smirks, clapping back. Didn't you say believe in the boy? Trust his flow, you said. Wolves got a wolf. I know you're panicked watching your cub go wild, but take your own advice. Trust him. Pale sighs, agreeing. Halo gets that savage look. This mess sends a loud message to the capital. Mostly, those guard jerks. If anyone else ran this probe, heads would actually roll. Tells Pale to strap in. Storm's coming. House Reston is back. Cut to TBI Mayor Gren. A massive speech, acting all shook about the horror. Council guy ditching morals. Two off Halo's grandkid, the hero. Wild. Crowd goes absolutely feral. Screaming to yeet the corrupt dude. Heads on, Pike's vibe. Gren swears he'll fix the mess and empower the people. Leo watches, muttering that the mayor's a natural up there. Gale's like, Gren's a pro, never misses a beat. Leo asks if all polls are this slick. Gale laughs. Nah. Gren leveled up, cause he's actually got skills. Mayor's scarier than that chill smile implies. Gale admits he's shook that 13-year-old's plan got greenlit by the boss. Halo must rate Karen high to let him play this game. Kid might even make the succession list at this rate. Blessing or curse? Guess we'll see. Karan gives Gale the side eye, looking totally guilty. and checks if he's cool after getting dragged into this messy family drama. He heard Gale hates mixing biz with pleasure, so he's stressing he made him sell out his values. But Gale's like, nah fam, sometimes you gotta break your own code. Plus, the Emperor was gonna audit this place anyway, so it's all Gucci. Then he drops a truth bomb. If your rules stop you from doing the right thing, smash him like a bug. Claims he's got errands before the capital trip and bounces. Leo's confused, asking Karen why everyone went nuts over that speech. Karen's like, bruh, it's basic brain science. The mayor challenged the big dogs. When elites fall, normal peeps get a shot to level up. Duh, they're throwing a party. Leo's still lost, so Karan roasts him for being a sheltered greenhouse plant. Leo claps back immediately, saying that's wild coming from the continent's richest trust fund, baby. That night, Karen tells Grin his speech gave the town serious main character energy. Grin says he only pulled it off cause Karan gave him the ammo and a righteous reason to fight. Karen appreciates the spin, but Grin's like, just spitting facts, bruh. Checks on the night situation, and Karan confirms backup is already en route. Grin busts out laughing. Classic Reston style, moving faster than light. Leo asks if this is politics. The capital trip tomorrow, since they've been stalling way too long. Karen interrupts. Hold up, got a gift for ya first. Grin's curious until Karan whips a thick bag of cash out of his outfit, telling him greatness isn't cheap, so he'll need some walking around money. Grin's eyes basically pop out of his skull. Karen whispers, it's just hush-hush profit from the Bellis magic stone. Mind their little secret. Leo is just standing there thinking, pretty sure I didn't sign up for this shady bribery stuff. Later, bags are packed. Zaris says the Imperial Guard is their Uber to the capital. Karan gets a bad vibe, but Zaris says the boss approved it, so tough luck. Leo asks if Zaris is tagging along since Hans is out of commission. Zaris wishes, but he's stuck babysitting prisoners and the wounded, so Sir Hugo is on bodyguard duty instead. Karan notes Hugo is his Kazana total genius, who hits 6-star at Still, the whole setup feels super sus to care. Suddenly, Relio rolls up in a fancy ride, asking if they've grabbed breakfast yet. Karan takes one look at that mess, turns to Zaris, and begs to just skip the capital trip entirely. But Zaris hits the reject button. Fast no getting out of this. Relio's all smiles, asking if he's hyped, and Karen's deadpan, 0%. Dude, and grilling him on why he's crashing the vibe. Relio knows Karen's salty about the guard babysitting service. He feels that. Major beef, but he's here to fix the energy. Then Samrando pulls up, apologizing for being late, claiming he was dealing with that wrecked railway drama. Relio's chill intros him as Luke, who's hyped to escort the Reston boys. Meanwhile, Karen's brain is doing mental gymnastics. Like, wait a minute. The guard ghosted the attack case because they did it, just like Ponia said, so he asks if a broken track is really that deep. You're ignoring a hit on the Kingmakers for a railway. That is actually bonkers. But Luke's like, yeah, the Emperor owns that track, so treason is higher priority than your drama. Karen's pressed, but stays icy. Fine. For now, Zer whispers, nice save. No point fighting the guard till they know who planned the hit. Karen nods. It's just a hunch right now. But if he finds proof, these guards are puppets for rich nobles. He's ending them. Can't believe the royals are just glorified servants now. While on the road, Karen notes the awkward silence. Relios like wanna talk, and Karen's like hard pass. But Relio brings up that TB mayor speech anyway. Peeping Karen's plan to boost the mayor over the council using rest and clout, Karen asks, what makes him say that? So Relio spills that justice talk was just PR to fix the rest and rep after the drama. Big brain move to get an ally. He knows that was Karen's endgame. Karen admits all that time spent grinding with shady merchants actually paid off. Relio's like, duh, I survived the streets. I've seen things. So he reads people, then Relio's pocket buzzes. He checks. It's Ponia asking about the road trip vibes. He texts, meh, it's low-key annoying. Karen's ghosting me. She says, play nice, cause you're supposed to be better. Karen snaps, we ain't. Asks about the deal status. Says he never signed anything, needs the deets first. She lolls. Okay, but says he should consider it, cause it's a win-win. Karen's like, trust issues. Remember, she's lost. He says teaming with an Elfron guild, unapproved, means the elders will kill him. But she clarifies she wants a collab with him, not the family brand. He asks, why? She says, top-tier goods are worth the cash. Plus, Relio needs a bud. Karen hates that part, instantly. She calls the intel a freebie. Need anything? Just hit her up on the orb. Leo cracks up, telling Karan they're soulmates, since they're both selfish jerks, tossing him a gem to chat. Relio peeks out. The window ETA-0. Karen spots a humongous gate swinging wide. Capital City, baby. Leo offers a free tour of the hotspots. Just ring him. Karen's like, Pass. Rio zooms off yelling, catch ya later. Luke bounces too. Karen gives thanks. Watching M leave, Karen thinks, we'll meet, but when, spoiler, super soon. Leo points at a shiny tower, quizzing Karen. Magic tower? Obviously. Karen quips. Leo a wikmaze, Karen duh. It's in the name. Leo Karen agrees May just spent mega cash on it. Magic tower vibes are real. Now they're in the big city. He grins. Like walking back into my own grave. Hugo's voice cuts in. About time. They spin. Totally shook. Neither sensed him creep in there. Leo panics. Karen realizes Hugo was totally stealth mode. Dude is OP for sure. One of the Empire's top tier brain. Hugo. Long trip. Good job, guys. He notes it's their first eye. Karen plays cool. Hugo says, if he knew the kid was this rad, he'd have visited ages ago. Karen's polite, but inside Leo, dying, wondering if they'll survive the awkward vibes. Grandma appears. Karen beams and calls out. She gushes, look at you, and says she prepped a bath for his dusty self. Karen, Grandpa's busy. Hers, let's grab brooches for the party. Then sleep. Hugo stares at his hand. Did he just repel my mana? He tested Karen, and the kid pushed right back. Not chill energy, but crazy violent storm vibes. Recalls Dad Tales saying, watch those cousins? No trouble. Now he's eyeing Karen like, who is this kid? Post-bath? Karen face. Plants on the bed. Thinks Hugo's nuts for that mana test. Wild dude. Different from Tales. Whatever. Back in his grave after 50 years. Time to chill with booze stolen from the prince. He pours it on his sword. Guillotine yells, what the hell? I want blood. Not this. Karen claims he's just lonely. Guillotine's like, yeah, totally buying that. You're a freak. Karen explains this spot is his literal, actual grave. Guillotine yawns, mentioning he already peeped Karen's memories. Karen shrugs. Standard magic sword features, right? Guillotine gets salty. I ain't basic. Don't group me with cheap steel. They bicker. Sword guy wants to decapitate his creator 1,000 times. Karen hits him with logic. Dude, you can only chop a head once. Karen muses. He needs to decode the real reason for his since coming back to life usually takes some serious OP magic. Sword demands booze. Karen pours one for his metal homie. What is his life? The next morning, they hit the capital streets. Leo's acting like a total tourist. Karen cringes hard. Hugo agrees. Leo needs to chill out, maintain some dignity, and fix that tragic haircut immediately. Hugo adds Karen, better play nice with Leo for the family rep. Karen tries to get buddy-buddy with Hugo. Hugo swerves hard. Look, we're here. Suddenly, Karen spies a clothing joint and slams the brakes. Hugo's baffled. It's a grandpa store. Even Leo roasts. Karen's boomer tastes. Karen claps back. Retro is in. Trend cycle. You knew. Then asks what a fashion disaster like Leo would know anyway. Inside, the tailor shook. Sorry kids, I usually dress seniors, but let's go. Karen announces the threads are for him. Realizes he knew this guy 50 years back. Back when the dude was a rookie fixing Karen's wrecked gear, Karen gets nostalgic about the tailor's mad skills. Remembering he fought reckless, cause this guy could fix anything. Old-timer measures him up, swearing to do his best for the VIP kid. Karen blinks, surprised. Guy knew them instantly. Sir Kane was my regular, and the Duke's pet. Karen probes if he actually remembers. Much about Kane. Old man's like, absolutely. Kane was a total sweetheart, even if he never learned my name. Karen cringes internally. Yeah, he definitely just called him kid for years. But hey, being remembered. Someone feels kinda wholesome. So he finally asks the dude's name. Guy smiles. It's Rohan. Suddenly, a girl bursts in. Grandpa, did you hear Kane's nemesis is in town? Mid-rant she spots Karen and freezes like a deer in headlights. Karen's just sitting there. Excuse me, I'm the bad guy. Since when? After an awkward silence, she greets Hugo. Hugo's like, long time no see. Leo's eyes pop out. Wait, pause. You're Amy. Karen's confused how Leo knows her. Turns out, she's an absolute beast. She hit the 4th star at 17. Now Karan's just like, why is everyone here a total genius? Meanwhile, Hugo turns bright red, apologizes for the vibe before introing her as Amy Allura, Imperial Guard royalty. Karen tries to speak, but Amy shuts him down. Save it. I know you're Karen Reston. Then she marches right up to Leo, who's blushing like he just met his Karen's confused how she knows them, until she says the seniors spilled the tea earlier. Leo buys it instantly. Like, oh, totally. But Karan's brain is buzzing. He knows this. Girls got wild instincts. She probs sense their mana vibes and IDD them herself. Suddenly, the tailor pops out asking if she's had lunch yet. And she instantly snaps at him to quit being all fancy and just treat her normal, since she's a rookie, not a full knight. Hugo digs the humble act and brings up how she vowed to run the guard for 50 years But Curran being Curran cuts in, asking why everyone thinks his Gramps was Kane's rival. He just shrugs. Guy sold his soul to a demon. What's cool about that? And boom, Amy loses it. We're talking full-on fangirl rage mode here. She's screaming for a duel cause he dissed Kane's rep. And seriously, she is fuming. Curran just digs in his ear and asks what gives her the right. Amy's practically crying now, yelling she inherited Kane's will. Karen claps back, questioning the vibe. Did Kane stick with the demon boss cause he's sold out? Or did he actually want to? Amy's not having it, screaming Kane stayed out of pride. Curran sighs, figuring she's one of those stubborn types you can't fix. He asks how she'll be a knight if she flips out over a chat. Amy tries to justify. It's for honor when her stomach lets out a massive roar echoing through the shop. Leo literally jumps out of his skin and Karen smirks. He says, let's eat, then flares his mana, daring her to fight hungry. She freezes, remembering he hit the 4th star, just like her. But seeing his power up close, the guy's on a whole other level, like totally different league. Before it gets messy, Rohan tells Amy to eat before throwing hands. Plus, with her debts, she's probably been skipping meals big time. Curran chills out, and the Taylor jumps in, claiming destiny brought them together for some good eats. Amy clutches her loud stomach, grinds her teeth, looks away blushing, and finally agrees. Cut to the diner where Kieran, Hugo, and Leo are just staring at the mountain of plates on Amy's side. This girl is absolutely inhaling her food, wolfing down grub like she's been starved for weeks. Kachi turns red but tries to play it cool, claiming she's fueling up for the fight. Sure, Kieran clocks that she's way nicer now, but Amy snaps. Don't trip. I'm paying you back next month. Karen's like, chill, it's on me. Bam! She slams the table, standing up. I can't duel on an empty stomach, dummy. But now that she's stuffed, it's go time. She reaches out. Karen spots her hand rough, thick, and covered in scars. Total warrior hands. Serious grind. He thinks she'd be a legend if she didn't have a boomer's soul in a teen's body. They lock hands, making it official, and Amy instantly asks, can I get seconds? Iconic. Hugo's watching like, are you guys for real? Enemies to besties in 20 minutes. Wild. Cut 2. Outside the joint, some creep spots Amy through the glass, hyping up her training. He ditches his squad and struts in Karen asks when they're fighting, and she says as soon as Desert hits, teasing that she's gonna wreck him. Then the creep slides up, voice dripping slime. Happy Amy, back in town? You should have hit up your bro first. Smirking, he grabs her shoulder. Why hang with these losers? So, he keeps yapping. Do night apprentices, really, have time to flirt with random dude? Karen grins at the bait. Oh sweet, another drama queen. Amy swats him away. I pay my interest? Shoo, but this trash isn't budging. He grips tighter. Forget the cash. I want you. Don't be dumb. Be nice to the guy who owns you. Ooh, read the room. Bro, Hugo's fed up. Who's this clown crashing dinner? Introduce yourself, jerk. And the prick is shook. You don't know me. I'm Ken. He sneers. Hugo clicks Count Ken's kid. Big time loan shark family. Dego puffs his chest out. We own Marcus D's wallet. Put some respect on my name. Our boy just laughs. You're delusional. Amy's stunned by his sass. He grabs his sword. Yoda, think I came here to chat. Dego rages. Who are you? Punk. Wanna die? Karen breezes past Hugo. Bro, I'll fill Gramps in later. Then flashes to potions. Yo peep, these instant bone fixers. Pricey stuff, so I'm gonna savor every drop. Kid lunges with a wild grin. Time for your correction. Maniac mode on. Relax, I won't delete you yet. Dude screams murder before getting absolutely wrecked. Best part? Karen's forcing him. Chug health pots, so the beatdown never ends. Cut to Gramps, reading the damage report. Jaw drops? Say what now? Aid stammers. Karen got busted 30 minutes ago. Gale face bombs. One day is Wilden, already. Sighs, spill the tea. What happened? He's accused of jumping Deagle, the Count's kid. Gale recalls Deagle as a trashy creeper chasing debtors, daughters. Gale curses. Guy needs a dirt nap. Well, your grandkid? Agreed. He just delivered early. Gramps asks, why'd he do it though? Unsure, but Karen healed him between punches. Gale is sweating. Noble beef goes to the Imperial Guard. Given our rep, this looks bad, especially versus the Count. Gale stands to bounce, but Aid stops him. Chillbot. Aid drops a bomb. The victim is begging for mercy, for Q. Dude sobbing, swearing, Karen's an angel, saying it's his fault and he's turning a new leaf. Gale can't believe that brute is pulling this off, laughs in disbelief. Head down, wondering what dark magic the kid used. Then it clicks. Halo didn't send him blind. He unleashed a mad dog. Meanwhile, back to our boy. Case closed. Karen bounces out. Peace. Chief. I'll be visiting often. Chief is shook. More chaos is definitely coming. Y'all handling this right? He confessed. The cop nervously says noble cases are technically for the guard. Karan shrugs. I'll ask Gramps then. Here and Heir is involved. The cop is petrified. Then he hits him with the puppy eyes. I could always call my grandpa. The guard, unlocking the gate, starts sweating and asks who his Gramps is. Karen smirks. Sir Gale, the tax commissioner. The cop looks like he's gonna faint, screaming, I'll fix this personally. Outside, the crew Hugo, Leo, and Emmy. Hugo asks, what terrified the guy so bad? Karen jokes, he just gave the man some motivation. Hugo sighs. Since it's done, he won't bust Karen, but asks for a heads up next time. Hugo realizes deep down, this kid is totally off the rails. Controlling him is impossible. Karen agrees to text first, and Hugo's grateful. Hugo stands there wondering, how did Uncle Pale, a total saint, raise this psycho? What happened to that house? Karen joins the group. Amy apologizes for the mess and offers to treat him to tea. As she leads them to the cafe, Hugo remembers his orders. Panicking because Karen doesn't just find trouble, he creates it. He considers hitting the mage tower for magic ropes to tie this lunatic down. They get to the cafe, and the second Karen sits. Staff dump the whole menu on the table, cakes, tea, the works. Karen eyes the sugar pile like brr. Leo's vibing, but Amy notices Karen looks weird and asks if he hates sweets. He tries to be polite. It's not that. Suddenly, the owner rushes over with more free food, grinning wild. Karen looks at the sugar coma. On his table, Yao boss, isn't this too much? The guy won't stop. He leans in, hyped on the gossip. You're the legend who crushed that jerk. Karen sits there thinking, why am I the hero? His plan to look bad, flopped. He decides to just eat. He bites a cake. Hey, not bad. He asks Amy how she got into debt with the king. She says her dad failed at expanding the biz, so they're broke. Leo asks if the taxes didn't cover it. Amy sighs. It's deep. Country nobles in the city bleed cash. We need money just to look rich. Hugo asks why the guard isn't paying her for her skills. No sponsors. Amy explains why she's solo. If I picked a team, I'd get paid. Yeah. She ghosts the politic. Karen asks why she's nerfing herself like that. Amy gets that mushy vintage grin, chatting about how Kane was too based to sell out his values for clout. He only cared about the blade. Kane's sitting there like, sis, you got me twisted. It wasn't pride keeping him chill. It was straight survival mode. Then Karen just drops the nuke. If I pay your debt, you roll with me. Leo and Hugo choke instantly. Amy's totally lost. Leo turns to Karen like, yo, even for him, that's toxic, Karen goes. Huh. Leo lectures that buying a girl's debt to cuff her is total creep behavior. Karen almost leaps across to choke him out. When did I say that, dummy? Hugo wipes his mouth upset. Amy ain't a knight yet, but don't trash her honor like that. Karen bangs the table, shaking cups. I asked if she wants to join the herring order. Leo sighs. Don't backpedal now, cause you got caught. They beef while Amy hides a laugh, trying not to lose it. First time she's genuinely grinned in ages. Chaos fades. Amy says thanks but hard pass. Karen's shook. Wait, you're staying to fix the guard from inside? She nods, eyes sparkly. If Sir Kane was still here ... he'd say the exact same. Kane's dying inside. Girl, you got my whole vibe wrong. He wasn't some hero, but he knows her type well. Stubborn folks riding a sinking ship till they drown. In the war, he told his squad to dip and save themselves. They all refused, wanted to go down. Swinging with him, they bail. Amy asks about the duel drama. Karen says, it's late. Grandpa will set up a legit match. The trio dips. Leo super hyped about meeting her. As Karen walks, Amy shouts out, Karen, respect me next time. I'm your new. He doesn't look back. I only respect strength. Want some? Beat me first. Amy walks off grinning. Bet. Game on. Back home, Karan gets a buzz. Zur sounds stressed. Bro, why'd you smack the counts, kid? Karan's totally chill. Fix the villain. Violence is the key. Zur didn't think he'd go nuclear with Hugo watching. Karen says he and Hugo are actually chill now. Zur sighs. Victim was chill. No drama. But now, every noble is watching Karan. I swear, I told you a million times already. Show up at the palace tomorrow, and don't embarrass me in front of the king. Karen swears on his dad's honor. Zur's pauses, looking mad, suspicious. Why your pop's honor, bro? Karen's shameless reply. 'Cause I got none. Then he brings up recruiting Amy. Zurs knows the girl, and asks how that little drama went down. Karen admits she totally shut him down. Flat rejection. Zur sighs, saying the guard's lucky to hold on to a gem like her. Then Karen demands a chat with the big boss. Yahello says it's personal. Hayla's voice finally crackles through, asking if the kid called. Karen hits him with a formal, yes, my lord. Hearing that stiff title, Yahello immediately knows this is serious biz. He's worried but says go. Karen doesn't waste a second. He wants an official brawl versus the Imperial Guard. Heirlo frowns. Why? Karen wants to test his skills against their biggest rivals. Heirlo goes silent for a SEC, thinking. That's it. Karen just nods. Heirlo agrees, but there's a catch. Chill until the royal banquet ends. Zero trouble, he warns. Karen says, deal. Heirlo warns him to keep his act together at the palace. Karen figures one quiet day won't kill him. He's not trying to wild out. It's his grave too, after all. Better show some respect. Next day, Zers knocks on Heirlo's door. Heirlo says enter. Zers sent the challenge letter, like Karen asked. Heirlo asks for the tea. Zers says they accept it instantly. Heirlo gets it. The Duke's grandson wants a fight. They'll prep like their lives depend on it. Big deal. Zers is confused. You worried? Heirlo sighs hard. About the kid? Nah. He just reminds me way too much of Kane. Zers does a double take. Sir Kane? Heirlo nods, eyes glazing over. If that jerk was still alive, ... We wouldn't waste energy on this petty rivalry junk. Zers sees he misses his pal. Then, Heirlo snaps. Hell no. Miss a guy who ignored my pleas. Crazy. Zers thinks, worst liar ever. Heirlo mutters, softly. Totally, don't miss him. Zers changes the subject. Anyway, you know Amy Alora? That night girl? Heirlo nods. Zers says Karen wants to recruit her bad. Heirlo's confused. Why her specifically? Zers says her talents wasted rotting in the guard. Plus, Karen digs her crazy respect for Sir Kane. Heirlo finds that mad sus. Guards don't even say his name. Zers says, exactly. They're deleting him. If not for you, he'd be history's villain. Heirlo wonders how this got on Karen's radar. Zers reminds him, Karen's weirdly obsessed with Kane's story. Heirlo asks if Zers dug into her family background. Yep, he did. Zers did a deep dive. Just some basic country nobles. Nothing special, except for one tiny detail. 50 years back, they swapped names from a Kate. Heirlo froze up hard. He definitely knows the AKT crew. Capital streets are wild. Fans screaming our names like crazy. In the ride, Leo asks if he's cringing yet. Karen's like, why though? Leo points at the hype crowd. Karen shrugs. Chill bro, it ain't about us. Leo's lost. Then who's the main character here? Nobles trying to play the emperor like a fiddle. Leo's buffering hard on the politics. Karen looks away, hoping the throne guy has some survival skills at least. Skip forward a bit. We hop out and boom. Familiar face. Alert. Sir Luke simping, cause Karen remembers him. Karen ignores the hype. Luke says, no weapons. Knight nearby has the loot bag ready. Karen drops his sword and whispers to Leo. You know Gramps totally wrecked this rule once? Karen grins like a menace. 50 years ago. Leo's loading icon spins. What went down back then? Guards got it instantly though. Total panic mode. Karen smirking like a devil while Leo freaks out. Bro, you crazy? Why bring that up now? Luke tells our boy to zip it in front of the boss. Karen's just like, yeah! Suddenly, the guard next to M just drops dead. Luke sees the glowy blade. The aura knocks him silly. Karen's chill. My sword has mood swings. With a creepy grin, handle with care dude. Luke ain't laughing. I'll take you there myself. Into the fancy palace we go. Luke and Knights flank the boys on the gold rug. Leo shook. This place is extra bougie. Karen's silent. Weird, cause he never shuts up. Leo starts sweating bullets. He spots mana leaking out of our boy like crazy. Surprised, the Knights are too dense to feel it. Then he sees Karen's face. Never seen that look. Not mad, not salty, just ... different. Leo recalls Mama Sabina saying, watch his moods. But he's unreadable. Karen's staring, getting flashbacks. Right here, 50 years back, fire took it all. Wrecked body, sword through the chest. Game over. Death knocking. Karen blinks hard. Gotta snap out of it? Still got a ton to do. They pull up to this giant door. Butler blocks him, like a bouncer. King's turf. Who are you guys? He steps up, acting all professional. VIPs here. Grandsons of the rest house. Clearance granted. Doors open, and the butler hypes their entry. Walking in, our boy's dying to see the tyrant king's heir. So Karen struts into this. Huge hall. Dude in a white cloak is turned away. Talking. Karen freezes. Totally lost cause. He doesn't know him. Guy spins around. Emperor's out of commission. He's a total no. Sends his regrets. Don't freak out. I'm just the messenger. But yo, this ain't some rondo. It's Crown Prince Yoren Carrion himself. Karen clocks it, kneeling instantly. Leo just stands there, confused. Then he panics, copies his bro, and stammers. Huge honor. The prince stares down with intent. Orange eyes. Heard about your stunt at Bellisbarony. Classic hero grandson moves. Karan plays humble, but inside, total meltdown mode. He's thinking, you gotta be joking. He's a clone of the old soul-selling emperor. Same face, same creepy vibe, everything. Karen prays. It's just genetics, nothing deeper. He blocks out thoughts that Yorn is twisted, like Then the prince switches gears. It goes, heard you're tight with Rio. Good to see you guys friendly. Karen, the guy is internally grinding his teeth at the mention. Leo, playing diplomat, corrects him. Just acquaintances? Sir. Karen's brain screams at his bro. That wasn't a compliment. Idiot. Karan recovers fast, though. Thanks for overestimating us, Highness. We'll honor our house and keep cool with the sixth prince. The prince goes silent, analyzing Karan's words hard. Karen smiles, proud of his 4D chess move. Meanwhile, Leo's looking back and forth between Amtolios on the politics. Finally, the prince nods and pivots, telling them the banquet's for them, so have a blast. They thank him together. Yorn says, rest up before the party. Once they dip, the prince is alone, processing. Being friends with that brat Rio? Huh. He finally figures Karen out. He's just as amusing as the rumors said. The butler dumps them at the suite, promising the blades are stashed safe. Cozy by the fire, Leo cracks. The confusion is eating him alive. Gramps kicked out the soul-selling emperor. Yeah, Karan gives him the nod. Leo sweating buckets. But isn't the current boss that guy's son? Karen hisses instantly. Zip it. The walls have ears. His sword snickers. Karen snaps at it to scan for bugs. Already did clear. The blade salty about being a glorified radar. Coast is clear, so Karen spills the tea. Usually, he admits, talking about this is begging for trouble. But the new king actually helped crash his dad's party. Makes Gramps look like a hero, not a traitor. Leo's brain melts. We helped them win. Why the shade? Karen smirks. You tell me? Genius. Leo shrugs. Do know Crown Prince gave me major bad vibes though. Karen's actually proud. His bro isn't totally hopeless. You're learning. Though when you called us friends, with Prince 6... I wanted to slap you. But yeah, the hate is real. They sit there, trying to decode the royal drama. The AM door flies open. It's 'cause your mom's a Maristias. Enter Prince Rio, subtle as a brick. He's bouncing off walls. Sup, you guys clean up. Nice. Leo snaps to attention like a terrified soldier. Karen groans internally. Night ruined. Rio waves off the bow. Chill, we're buds. Remember, he snags an apple from the fruit tray. Tossing it up, he explains. Your mom's folks are marquis, so obviously ma femme hates house, rest in. He winks. Remember my warning earlier? Like it or not, you guys gotta make a play soon. Karan eyes him. Rio chomps the apple. It's tradition. Bro, isn't it obvious? Kid stealing the throne from daddy. Karen glares. Rio just kicks back. Dropping riddles? Timing's messy though. Even Keel County is leeching off the Diaz cloud. Everyone's here tonight. Thanks to you, it's gonna be lit. Rio's grinning. Karen's suspicious meter hits red. He stands. Spit it out. What's the play? Rio smirks. You want chaos, right? Karen shoots back. No. You want a riot? The prince doesn't blink. I'll set the stage. You wreck it? Karen pauses. Then sighs. What's the plan? Leo feels like they're walking into a wood chipper. Wrecking an imperial banquet. They gotta be trolling. Totally. For sure. Skip to late night. Massive lights glowing over a giant hall, where ladies in puffy gowns are spilling major tea on court scandals. Karen and Leo enter, and Leo's jaw hits the floor. Dude is ogling the girls, blushing hard. Karen snaps at him to chill. Karen zones out, realizing it's been ages since his last fancy bash. Back when he was a slave, 0 people invited him to these things. But before he can even vibe with a fest, his gut tells him things are super sketchy. It should be safer than a bank vault. Yet he senses dark mojo all over. Leo steps in like, whoa, check out the glitterati. Karen throws a glare saying, dude, don't be cringe. But Leo's lost, asking, just breathing here. A guy named Karyam from House DZ rolls up. Hair, perfect. Expecting fancy manners. But nope, total fail incoming. RMC offers a limp noodle hand. Weak sauce? Ignores him too. The guy is instantly triggered, thinking, did this country bumpkin just diss me? Leo panics, lying that Karen's just shook 'cause he's new. Kareem ain't buying it, but plays nice, thanking them for squashing some bandits earlier. Suddenly, a loud voice blasts through the room. Dang. You guys risk it all for the king. Unlike these kiss-up city snobs, the whole party freezes. Dead silence. All eyes on Prince 6, roasting everyone loudly. Rio smirks, knowing he just lit a fire at this gala. Kareem bows, but inside he's raging at this wild royal, acting crazy. He warns Rio to watch his mouth around loyalists. Rio shrugs. Oopsie, my mistake. Totally not sorry at all though. During this drama, Karen is zoned out. He's hunting bad vibes, spotting a masked girl with braids. The moment she spots him, she grins red. Bingo. Found her. Prince grabs the boys, dragging them along. Kareem interrupts. Hey, we were actually talking here. Rio laughs. Come on. Squad hangouts are way better. Kareem says chill, but Rio claps back fast. You schooling me on clout? Even strays know, Diaz runs this town. Kareem stammers, but Rio already wrecked him publicly. Karen is officially over it. He snaps at Kareem, telling him to zip his lip before he gets absolutely wrecked. Karen grips his blade, ready to let it rip. Leo and Kareem enter full-blown panic mode. Flashing steel at a royal feast is a one-way ticket to execution. Karen locks eyes with the prince. Six prince. Gigs up. Rio's totally lost since he was having a blast stirring up drama. But Karen leans in. There's a dark magic rat crashing this party. Boom. Suddenly, the math starts mathing. Everyone's gawking now, wondering what the heck is going down. Rio goes to yell for guards, but Karen flashes that psycho grin. Forgot my rap! The prince groans, reciting the lame family slogan. Healers, fix the sick, we fix demons. He asks the plan. Karan says, lock it down. With that, Karan struts ahead, but some loser tries to block our boy's path. Guy clutches his hilt like back off, but freezes when Karen just glares. Our dude then. So, Chilai told him to beat it, and breezed right past him. Left in the dust, that guy's wondering why his hands totally failed him. The vibes coming off Karen are absolutely nuts. His mana hits the room like a tsunami. Rich folks scramble to move. Leo's confused until he spots Rio whipping out a fancy orange staff. The prince grabs a twin orb and starts pumping mana, grumbling about using his sis's hand. Never thought he'd need Panya's gifts. But hey, surprise, a light bubble pops out, locking the whole banquet hall down tight. The fancy crowd starts freaking out. And Leo asks, why stall? Karen's already confronting the masked lady. Blade at her neck. He goes, bold move for a capital dweller to host us, seeing as we're usually a total pain in the neck. She slowly peels off her mask while he keeps talking. Yet here you are. Though, person isn't quite right, is it? The moment her face is bare, black magic blasts from her eye, smashing Rio's shield to bits. She sizes Karen up, checking him out with a weird grin, saying he's cute, and she's totally into him. Lady, he's 13? Chill. But nah, our guy ain't biting. He rejects her by literally chopping her head off. Classic. Head hits the floor, and the room goes into full-blown meltdown mode. But the severed head blinks. My, aren't you charming? She purrs. Seeing that, everyone starts shrieking and bolting for the exits. Total anarchy erupts, while that chopped head just chills there. Well, not for long. It warps into a bunch of black roses and bursts into petals. Karen's eyes squint, tracking every petal to find the glitch. Before he can even blink, those petals spin back and morph right into the woman's full body. But now, full demon mode. She checks her look, sighing. That blade actually ate my mana. Didn't know your fam packed heat like that. Karan grips his sword, big mad. She just leaked his gear stats to the whole room. He tells her she got lucky, adding that if he was just a bit stronger, she wouldn't be yapping right now. Demon girl licks her fingers, super cringe, and claps back, saying she would have snacked on her boy already if she could. Then she goes, yo, and eats herself right at him. Karen flares his aura, knowing one hit equals game over. He dodges butt lags, a bit she nicks his neck. Oop. Then, tasting the blood, she smirks, knew it. You taste like candy? Leo sees his bro hit and grabs his sword to jump in, but Rio grabs him, saying, chill, this is Karan's 1v1. Leo's like, bruh, but the prince says Leo knows Karen best. If he wanted backup, he'd ask. Leo steps back, shaking he hates being too weak to carry. Just watching. Rio knows the vibes. If Leo rushed in, he'd just feed. Meanwhile, Karan's neck is leaking HP even with his mana patch. Even his sword's like, give up, noob. You're too underleveled. But our boy is stubborn and tells the sword he can't quit. That's not his brand. If sticking to his guns means rip, so be it. Plus, no way this demon leaves alive. He pops his collar to hide the cut and maxes out his mana output. Demon lady sees this and gets weirdly into it, digging his vibe. Lady, he's literally 13. Grustenchi rushes him, faster now, but aims for the NPCs instead. She casually drops her name mid-attack. I'm sure you won't forget me. Seeing randoms getting hurt, Karan rages and rushes Shunya, full tilt. Rio casts a spell, yelling focused on the boss. I got the mobs. He's handling crowd control. Shunya trolls him. Think you're safe, cause you dodged once. My petals aren't just cosmetic. Karan's sword screams, dodge, idiot, move, or you're toast. Then, it sees his plan and goes, don't. You know that's suicide, but this mad lad ignores it. And he rips form 5, high tide. It is go time. Suddenly, actual ocean waves crash around him. So his mana goes full storm mode. Chaotic, liquid energy, everywhere. Shunya watches him redline his mana channels until he coughs blood. Yikes. Dude is literally 1 second away from crashing hard. wipes the blood off. Zero chill, zero regrets. Only goal, ending this demon right now. Shunya didn't expect that level of crazy. She's grinning. She is absolutely living for this drama. Rio is confused. The illusion dropped. So where's security? Outside, absolute mess. Way worse than Rio thought. Commander Luke is spiraling, yelling at knights for info. Finally spots a squad. They report magic spikes in the banquet hall. Luke asks about the mage tower. Soldiers say they called M. Mages just warped in via Porto. Luke swears. Why? Tonight of all nights? Classic bad luck. Panic fades. He runs back but hits a wall of stuck knights. He screams, asking why everyone is just Soldier says mages can't crack the barrier. Luke glitches. Even the pros are failing. How? Knight seizes confusion and drops the bomb. It is dark magic. Luke is totally shook. Dark arts, right here in the palace. During a party, he can't imagine the horror inside. Inside, that demon chick is circling. Our boy says she can't kill because her boss said no, but Torchio, totally allowed. She's gonna have fun. She eats herself at Karen. He swipes clean, but she pulls a mid-air dodge. Time for phase 2. Horns. The whole RPG boss. Karen pauses, remembering Sabina's earlier tip. You don't control the sword's power. You gotta accept it, vibe with it. Demo rushes him. He just stands there. Rio is screaming to dodge, but Karen is locked in. Two hands the blade, full focus mode engaged. Boom. Blood everywhere. Demon looks stunned. She expected normal attacks, but never thought this psycho would hurt himself just for an opening. While she is buffering, he slices her clean in half. Think it is game over. Think again. Demon keeps yapping, calling our guys move totally wild and gutsy. Then she peeps his blade, eyes go huge. Yo, that sword? Is that a guillotine? Karen's shook. That weapon's his fam's top secret stash. How's a Rondo demon know the name? Then the sword itself starts chatting. Says it eats black magic for breakfast. Slurps demon juice. Buffs both him and the blade. Simple math. Outside, the mages are sweating bullets. Trying to smash the barrier. Boom. Finally, cracked it open. Inside, sword drops a truth bomb. That demon body ain't even real. Fake news? Karen smirks. Duh, figured that out ages ago. But how'd they sneak into the palace? That part's still sus. Even with a mole, you can't just waltz into the kingdom's lockdown zone like it's a mall. Suddenly, Luke busts in yelling for everyone to dip. Demon starts fading. Karen's like, you got lucky today? But next time, you're confetti? She grins, catch me across the abyss, and adds her boss wants to meet him too. Creepy much. Once everyone's clear and safe, Luke stares at our boy and the ghost demon. Brain totally fried. Math ain't math. A demon in the palace. How even? Then he hears some fancy ladies gushing about how the 6 prince saved their butts with magic. One's like, wow, didn't think Rio had it in him? Nearby knights, look around. Super loss. Since when does that guy cast spells? Back to Karandude, finally drops. Too much blood, gone. Leo zips over before he faceplants, yelling for a medic stat. Even dying, our boys stressing about looking cool. Chillio, no drama, I'm good. Rio walks up. Bro, are you hearing yourself? You're wrecked, tosses a potion. Chug this. Now? He catches it but gives the trying to poison me again. Rio's dead serious. World Tree Dew, top tier juice. Adds it's priceless. Karen sees, he's for real. Why waste the good stuff on me? Rio grins like a Cheshire cat and goes, I'm investing in you. Gotta go big or go home. FYI, World Tree Dew is legendary loot. Gives insane magic buffs. Karen downs it. I owe you one? Big time. Rio nods. You better pay up. Karen turns to Leo. I got this. Go call Gramps. Leo snaps. Are you high? You need a nap? Pronto. Before they argue, Rio pulls his staff and bonk. Lights out for Karan. And Leo. I'm literally shook right now. He ice con on the floor. Then Rio, thinking, did this dude just faceplant my brother? But Rio skips the drama, saying, now that the dark magic tea is spilled, it's just a TikTok until Halo crashes this party. So Leo, you're on babysitting duty for Khan. Then Luke rolls up, totally killing the vibe by arresting Rio for being Leo jumps in, defending him, calling it total nonsense. Rio swipes left on the cuffs though, telling Luke to chill. He's got working legs. Thanks. Before dipping, he hits Luke with the casual, I'm innocent, look. Luke's like, hard to trust a guy who goes to the law to learn magic. Rio spins to Leo one last time going, bets off fam. Time for the big leagues to step in. He tells Leo to let the Grand Duke know he carried the squad against the demons. Leo is just buffering, totally confused about the plot twist. Smash cut to the Crown Prince's office. Halo staring out the window, telling Orin to skip the boring intro. He promised the royals he'd literally unalive every demon, but he needs to see his grandson first. He asks Oren if that's cool, but, spoiler alert, he wasn't asking. Dude is absolutely fuming. Jump to the castle wall where a knight is just vibing on watch. His homie slides up, asking, "Why the long face? You sweating?" The knight laughs, as if, but Kuroa munches an apple going, "I mean, fair if you were Yahello is OP, and you've literally never caught a dub against him." Kane looks salty, claiming that's cap. Said he was just going easy on Yahello this whole time. Kuroa's like, "Sure, best, whatever helps you sleep." Then it gets deep. Kane asks Kuroa why he hasn't dipped yet. Could have lived his best life if he bailed sooner. Now he's going to be hunted 24/7 because of that cursed gift from the boss. Kane tells him to run for it, saying, "Bounce before the army wrecks the place." But Kuroa's like, "Cap, being chased forever sounds like a drag. Rather, just game over here with you." Then he asks Kane why he's stuck with that psycho emperor anyway. Kane says, it ain't about the emperor. It's about ending his slave life arc right here and now. Kuroa goes, "That sounds dumb, but if you're staying, we're squad goals." Back to the present. Two Imperial Knights are trash-talking the Azure Knight. Zero chill. Once they leave, a guy asks the Lady Knight when they're going home, cause he's about to end those Imperial clowns. The Lady Knight sighs, "Yeah, don't hold your breath. We're stuck here till the Grand Duke dips, which is gonna take forever, since the investigation is dragging." Meanwhile, our main guy is still totally zonked out while Amy and Leo play babysitter. Leo drops a random TX and Amy's like, weird flex, but okay. He props her for helping them despite the massive beef between their night squads. Amy starts her classic speech about how Kane would have done the same if he wasn't, dead. When our boy wakes up and roasts her. "You got any new lines? Or just reruns?" And fam, the absolute first thing does is trash tuck Rio for messing up his beautiful face. Leo spills the tea. Rio got busted by the royal guards, but Hayless come into clutch. Our guy's confused, jailed, for real, then asks if Gramps is in town too. Leo says Yahello rolled up to the palace with the Azure squad right after the fight. Karen asks if he warped here, then worries if he missed another brawl while napping. Leo's just like, "Did you get brain damage? Who's dumb enough to attack with Yahello here?" Then, Ys, Amy. "And why is she lurking?" Leo says she came to support, but our dude isn't buying that sob story. He asks if she only saved him so she could beat his butt later. Amy's triggered. "Excuse me, I'm paying you back, you ungrateful moron." Suddenly, Yahello walks in, checking if Karen is still alive. He grabs a chair and signals Amy to come hang. He tells our guy his interocean level jumped to 5. Karan claims he had to force his pathways open to nuke the demon, using Maelstrom Form 5. As Amy sits, Yahello goes, "That stunt was straight up idiotic." Then asks if he's even nailed the 4th form yet. Karan admits, nope, but he's watched pros do it a million times. So Yahello pauses, then drops the hammer for when they return to Azure Castle. Total lockdown. No going out. He stins your grinding, training for the next 4 years. Our boy just nods. Before dipping, Yahello asks if Karan actually learned a lesson. Our guy gets real, admitting he's still too weak. Yahello says, "Don't mope, rushing for power just wrecks you." Karen says he's not power hungry, of greed, because of the demon's last words. Yahello asks, what words? And Karen says she's waiting past the North Sea. Then he looks at Yahello. What's actually out there? Yahello hits him with the classic "you're too low level to know." Then Yahello asks if he's got any other requests. Karan brings up how Rio healed him with World Tree Dew, so they owe him. But Yahello cuts him off mid, explaining Rio broke the law by learning magic totally banned for royals. Zero proof he was actually part of the raid, but the higher-ups can't just slide past his actions. So, Rio's getting the Azure Knights glued to him 24/7. Yahello heads out, but Karen's like, "Wait, Gramps, I got 0 gym space." Pops, Smirk's already bribed the Imperial Guards to sort it out. Before bouncing, Yahello tells Zer, "Keep an eye on the kiddo." "Yeah, Zerbaus, you got it, boss." Yahello dips, and Leo freaks at Karen. "Rio helped us. We gotta act." Karan's, "Chill. Relax, bro. Grandpops is already playing bodyguard." Leo scratches his head, clueless. Wait. Use your brain." Karen sighs. Yahello put his own elite squad on Rio. It looks like jail, but it's a shield. Exactly what Rio planned. Boom, the family's got his back. Now, he hits up Amy next. "Hey, give me a tour guard HQ later. Always wanted a peek." Amy squints. "What are you cooking?" Karan laughs. Chill, just nosy. That's all." Then he winks at Zers. "Guess I'm your problem now. Teach." Cut to Azure Fortress. The 3 brothers are having intense Tails asks if Pale's hyped about his famous kid, but Pale shuts him down hard. He snaps. "What kind of nonsense is that?" Karen nearly checked out. He fumed. "Hype and clout mean nothing. This makes 2 times I almost lost my boy." Then Raphael, total jerk as usual, decides to run his mouth. He roasts Tails, laughing about how that fancy spy network of his flopped harder than a bad movie sequel. Tails is mentally raging, thinking instead of yapping Raphael should worry that Karen's already a teen legend. Pale's totally over these clowns. He gets up to bail. I'm out. Someone's gotta fix this mess. Raph rises as well, smirking that he's gonna split. Alone, the snake realizes Karan isn't just a bug to squash now. If the kid keeps leveling up, he'll block the throne path. He sits, grabs his orb, and speed dials a shady contact. The dude on the line sounds super salty, warning him to make it quick, but Tails just demands a face-to-face with the Elder. The Elder grumbles that the vibe is off, but Tails swears it's to save the family. Guy caves, says he'll swing by soon, so sit tight. Staring outside, Tails decides Karen's gotta pick a team. Ally or target. Meanwhile, over at the guard's main base, our boy is grinding XP like crazy. Eyes snap open, he's buzzing. Boom, totally nailed it. The mana was weird, but he absorbed it like a champ. Grabbing his shirt, he realizes why that World Tree Dew cost a fortune. Duh, only elves cop that loot. He dips, plotting how to scam Rio for more of that swag. Door opens. Leo's in, begging Karan to smash like for Mamaro's spicy clips. Slap that notification bell.